Okay. So, as I was just saying, when we left off, you guys had just finished with sweeping the sanctuary of Pedum. You had encountered Urdas the Black, who, um, with a very clever lie, Persistence was able to convince to fly off into the distance to be a problem for somebody else up north in Alvarez. So you guys had the run of the place. You ran through, you battled the various guardians that the dragon left behind, including a decoy horde, which it turned out to be a horde mimic. Um, but you found his secret stash, his real stash, and looted it, and then we're just about to fly over to Kernwith. So I don't think there was anything that you guys wanted to do before you left anymore.
No.
No? Okay. Uh, so, um, yeah, I mean, you guys can easily fly to Kernwith with the time that you have left. So go ahead and move the party there. The sun, you reach Kernwith as the sun starts setting um, in the west. The hot day continuing on into the night. It is the middle of summer. Even with the light rain that we had today, it doesn't seem to have done anything to take the edge off of the heat. Um, and you guys settle in to the abandoned stronghold. Uh, as you walk the ruins, you can see that um, time has not been kind to this place, as um, the walls have crumbled in places. Anything that's not, made of stone has rotted in the week since it was last used. Um, but even with all of that, um, you think that once um, Kembra gets here tomorrow, or actually, no, I think what I was going to say, yeah, okay, so uh, you think that once Kembra gets here, she should be able to do some quick repairs to make it a serviceable redoubt to defend uh, with whatever troops you manage to wrangle out of the mass of refugees that will be arriving on the morrow. And speaking of whom, Canberra would be arriving right about the same time as you guys. So I guess she cast Windwalk on you in the morning, spent the day organizing Castle Noctum, and using her other various other spell slots to continue the repair work, and then came here. So she'll be uh, doing her repair work tomorrow, and then um, she'll spend her last spell slot to fly back to Castle Noctum. So as you guys are after you guys have settled in, she and declouded, she comes in and also declouds. Uh, so it's like, hello. Did you find anything of interest?
Uh, we found the black dragon again. It was lingering in the sanctuary of Padum. We convinced it to go to the capital of Alvarez to make itself a nuisance there.
Oh, that sounds very clever. Sending one enemy to take care of another, very efficient.
Yes, it was what I could come up with at the time. I wasn't necessarily expecting the opportunity, but fortune favors the bold. Let's see what else. I believe we also found some additional knights that are just waiting for a bell. Did I get that correctly, Tennis?
Why am I here? Where's my pet? My little boy?
Oh, you're the mimic,
Where'd he go?
or
How did I get here?
We flew here.
I left behind my new friend.
The horse
Why would
should
I
be
do
arriving
that?
soon, right?
Oh, it's coming. Oh,
Yeah.
good. All right.
Wait,
Eh,
did he put the
Kimbra.
mimic to ride the horse? What?
No, I don't think so, because the horse is already long gone by the time he
Yeah,
befriended the
that's what I
mimic.
thought.
I think he just left the mimic and fed it. So it's his friend now, but it's still at the sanctuary.
I'll have to go back and at the most convenient moments.
This does remind me of a question we had before. Archdruid, are you familiar with creatures known as the mimics at all?
I have heard of such creatures, yes.
But you're
Well,
not well versed in their physiology?
no, I'm given to understand that they're some mad wizard's creation or something like that. They're not of the natural world, so they're not really part of my purview.
What is the natural world? What is nature?
That is actually a very interesting question. Uh,
You say that, but he doesn't really mean it. He just says these things because that's how his brain works.
well, I
Have
mean,
you ever questioned the foundations of your reality?
See what I mean?
I mean,
Have I ever told you about memes? They're the memory of the soul.
I'm fairly sure that is not a word I learned. Is anyone else going to back him up? Is this a thing, or is this
I'm
a
trying to
Noctum thing?
remember. It was what was it? Pseudo memorical. No, no, that's not right. Hmm. Ep's finger on chin. Scratch his eyebrow. Wait, I got one of these. Ooh, good.
Persistence is not there. Persistence is doing a walkthrough of the keep,
uh,
identifying the best places for Kimbra to put up walls and such.
Resistance, where are
okay.
you going? Don't you wish to partake in the conversation?
No,
Hmm.
Well, some people just don't appreciate the finer points of philosophy, I
I
suppose.
have read so many textbooks.
Oh, you can't learn everything about the world from a textbook?
You can learn more than just by living in a swamp.
You can learn what they wish you to learn.
But if one reads many books, you can
The
learn
key to
many
education is to learn for yourself.
competing ideologies, and from there can either extrapolate or create something new.
Speaking of literature, I've heard your people made a book about your government or religion, or what are you people doing down there?
Are you referring to me?
It's something I know you guys. You guys were big about that red dragon, the Grozny, but now I heard you adopted new stances.
Da. We are Twarists. We follow Twarism. There are books, but to make things easier for most of the population, we have worked it down into pamphlets. Lots of pamphlets. Big pictures, simple text.
But does it go into the theory of what you're talking about appropriately? I'd like a book.
Yeah, I could see if there are some on the submarine. Various revolutionary texts are typically kept by political officers and captains, but I am not sure what will be available on the submarine.
I suppose I'll take whatever you have. I am so curious on what you folks are talking about half the time.
Now, are you more interested in the pre-Tvarist ideology that in the lead-up from other realms which we have co-opted into our own, or are you interested more specifically in Tvar, or even the Politburo since then?
Multiple points of view are most useful for finding your own opinion in the matter.
I see you are repeating what I said back to me, so very well. I'll find what texts I can and have them brought to you. Do you speak Draconic? Do you read Draconic?
1 second, let me think about it. Oh, this isn't the right page. Let's see here.
Are you trying to read pages of text to see which ones you can read? That is an interesting way to figure out which languages you know. But for you, I
Listen,
guess this
I'll
actually
have to
makes
learn
sense.
more languages because my friend he made this book and he put a lot of languages in it. He refused to learn common. He learned everything else.
Well, I will see what we can find in common, but this list will be significantly reduced
Ah, yes. Let's
until
see
I
here.
can get
I
a printing
learned common or common. Yeah, I learned common. That is important. I learned Elvish. And let's see here. I think the undertongue. Ooh, I didn't know I learned this.
That seems like a somewhat of an oversight, given that Common is the common tongue. Why have you not translated your philosophical texts into Common? You seem to
print.
be very keen to spread your ideology.
No, is a miscommunication. We have translated these texts. I'm saying the only place where I can get them quickly would be from the captain of the submarine, who probably reads them for himself in Draconic.
Ah, I understand.
They were expecting me to set up some form of printing press before I get the templates to print in common.
Hmm. Well, you'll have a hard time finding a printing press in the swamp.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
this is something
hopefully
I
in
have noticed.
hopefully
How
in
does that
Chimie.
work? Printing press? Do you just like
Oh,
you
yes, I
smash
forgot.
words onto paper?
Yes, it was something that was invented just a few days ago.
A few days ago.
Less than a
Interesting.
week. It's all the rage.
Fascinating. Can't believe they made the supply lines like that. The wizard must have done that.
Definitely.
So
Uh,
let's see here. How's the fortifications look?
I believe we should find persistence. He's probably been the one who's actually been working.
Well,
Yeah,
you not call this
persistence.
working? This
This
is a meeting of the minds.
uh, you're able to readily identify key strategic points that would require reinforcement. At least from a tactical perspective. You're not. Are you trained in like architecture, stonework, or anything like that?
I've got the whole knight's like general education, just
Okay.
like in things
Okay.
that would be useful. We're primarily mercenaries and bodyguards. Like that's kind of your call over how much
Oh,
that
hey. Well, Tenelus is proficient with Mason's tool, so I'm gonna say that he knows he can spot stonework that needs reinforcement that maybe
I
wouldn't
think that's
be.
the exact purpose of what the Mason's tools do. I think
Yeah,
in the Zandahar's book.
yeah. Except it's probably the opposite because you're usually in a dungeon where you want to like break something so you can get through.
Well, dragons are often involved with castles. Castles
Yeah.
often have dungeons.
Yeah, so I guess if you wanted to look, you can very easily see as as a account, it is your job to go around to all of your different part of your job to go around to all the different fortifications and determine if they are sound, and if not, what needs to be done to fix them.
I'm gonna
So
presume that persistence is helping me because this is what he was
yep,
doing.
yep, yeah. So you guys are able to put your heads together, and between uh, I mean, I guess Tenelus would also have pretty solid tactical reasoning. Again, given that he is a feudal lord. Um,
Are we sure we want to use the word reasoning around?
Tactical
Knockdown?
awareness. Does that
Are we
make you
sure
feel
we want
better?
to use awareness around? Just saying.
I mean, he's aware of the disrepair that his castle has been left in somehow. He's not aware of how it happened, but he is aware that it happened.
Yeah, but
His wall used to have a giant face on it.
he's a few
It would
squares
talk
short
to
of a
you.
mason. Like
I will assure you, I received my education from Third Rock Stonebrow. He was
Hmm.
visiting. For a dwarf, a visit is about a few years.
Well, it's your
He'd
castle.
always tell me, tell
Yes.
us, sit with your back straight, look at this rock and stare at it and tell me every problem with it.
I remember
Do this for
Third Track.
days.
He didn't like me very much for some reason.
Hmm.
Oh,
He never confessed. The dwarves are closed about their feelings.
oh, is uh, is there something that he told you?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's why I said he was closed about his feelings. He didn't even want to talk to
Yes.
me about it.
Well, you were just talking about it like you knew something.
I feel like I know something,
Hmm.
but I don't think he ever told me. I have my suspicions. I have no proof.
I see. Well, it's neither here nor there. The past is the past. Uh, it's been a long time, even for a dwarf.
Must be why the roads are in disrepair.
That's it. Is there anything else we need to do before our guests arrive?
My magic is exhausted for today, so I'm going to need to rest before I do anything. Um,
This is fair.
How much longer do we have Windwalk?
um, not very long. Um, because let's see, you spent an hour getting to Eastlow, then you spent an hour at Eastlow, then another hour going to Sanctuary, so 2, 3, and then another hour at the Sanctuary, and then another hour here or so. So I guess you've got a couple hours left.
We
Hmm.
spent at least 2 at Padam because I think we took a short rest.
Okay. Well, that still leaves
Yeah.
like 2 hours. So is there something you'd like to do?
Uh, we'll visit the coast and back, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe, or no, maybe my time is better spent here with these walls.
If you're the person who's trained in the stuff, probably.
Then again, thinking about fortifications and the like, how long can I like cover in like
In
2 hours?
2 hours, I think you can do 30 miles an hour, right? We decided. So you can do a full sweep around.
Yeah, we'll get a. Then again, we probably know about the back here. Let's see here. We go over here. Then we can sweep the back a little bit. All right, that's the pattern I do. Well, actually, wait. Okay, there we go. They'll probably come from that direction. Probably.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Is anybody gonna go with you?
I would just to make sure he doesn't
Okay.
get himself killed.
All right. And are you just flying high, like up in the clouds and looking down?
Get that aerial surveillance, and also I guess
Yeah.
look at the fucking tidal wave of people that are coming.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think if Minx would have anything to do in the
Then again,
castle,
let's see
or
here.
if he'd head off.
I
Is
would.
our friend is here? Is our friend? Where's Elijah? Is he here around here?
I'll just kind of step out from huddle. What's gonna do for you?
Hello. If it's no bother to you, could you check out what's going in Chimie? See if there's any
Chimie.
forces from our friends or the Alvarez. You know,
Of course. And he'll turn into a mist and take off.
Okay.
important to think about the most logical staging ground for.
Hmm.
Also, they'll probably be surveying the area. I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, that's my plan.
Okay. Let's see. Uh,
When I get close, I'll stealth.
okay. Yeah, you will. Um,
I'm fairly hard to
so
see.
so between the three of you flying around, um, so you see there is a long train of campfires, starting just a few miles away from Kernwith towards Chimie, in the fields, and then they kind of intensify over time, uh, in terms of numbers. And you can see there's a huge train of people coming towards you, like there must be hundreds of people in this refugee train, um, that are now roughing it in the fields around Kaime.
I thought you meant a lot more when you said there were a train of people.
What, like thousands?
Well, I mean, my
Well, there probably
graduating,
were more.
my high school had like 9,000 people, so
You also live in San Francisco,
I
which
know.
is like
My
a modern city
yeah.
with millions of
No,
people
I
in it.
know. No, I'm not saying that
Kaime
you're
is,
wrong. I'm saying that my perspective when you said that, my scale was off. So
yeah. Um, I mean, because remember, Kaime is
it was
uh,
how many village could how many slaves could a village have really?
yeah, that's the idea. Is it's like, well, it is a major town. Like it's not really a village. It's more like a town.
Yeah.
To
At best, we're
Bato's
getting a third of
city.
the people. So
Yeah. And so if you imagine, like, even if the population of the whole like town and the surrounding area is 10,000 people, that probably means like 3,000 to 4,000 slaves maximum.
Mhm.
And that's for the town and all of the surrounding environs. So like this whole uh, hex area right
Yeah.
here, right? It would be 10,000 people. And so you're drawing in, like, you would maybe have like the slaves that were freed by the caravan along the way as well. Um, but other than that, you're just getting the slaves that were actually in the town itself.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but it's still hundreds of people, which is a lot.
Yeah.
pretty sure everyone
Uh,
with sense would be like, "I'm not going to the cursed swamp."
Well, yeah,
yeah,
but they also just saw the people who were telling me to go to the cursed swamp blew up the keep. So,
yeah, and they're also being led by, remember, the UDDC uh, prisoners,
Oh
who
yeah,
are organizing things.
but on the other hand, that's probably a downside for people that are depending if they're pro non-humans.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, this is mostly slaves. People who are like, yeah,
yeah,
let's join the
You
people
can
who
be a
aren't
racist slave, I'm
enslaving
well, I
sure.
us.
mean,
I
the
don't know.
dwarf was with him for crying out loud. So,
yeah. Well, it's kind of one of those practical things, right? Like they can either stay and keep being slaves, or they can leave and potentially get free somehow.
I hate
Um,
Nazis, but if they're gonna fight the Russians, they can have a few
um,
bullets as a treat.
oh, you're talking about modern
Yeah, yeah, those, yeah.
modern times. I was
But
like, how
which
does
is the
this?
inverse of how that originally went. Funnily enough.
Yeah. Ah, boy. Yeah. Anyway, things are a little bit more morally clear here, I hope. Um, but maybe not entirely.
Wait, what are
We'll, we'll,
morals?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, yeah, you kind of have. You got Elijah here who literally eats people, and then you got a Knight of Hell. It's-
Sure. A lawful neutral knight of hell,
this
you continuously point out to
this
me.
is true, but still,
Um, but we'll get to some moral questions later, I think. It will definitely come up. in conversation, if nothing else. But yeah, you've got a long train of refugees coming your way. It's like I said, the sun is setting, so it's starting to get dark, but you can easily see their campfires. They've stopped for the night, and I guess they don't have tents. Like they're the Jews fleeing Egypt. They just took whatever they had on hand at the time,
Oh, I
and
really hope their leader has a better sense of direction.
So far, it seems like he has.
fortunately he has much less far to go
Yeah.
as well. Um, yeah, they haven't even had to cross the Red Sea yet, which I don't know what that would even be
Oh, the
in
Red
this
Sea is
scenario.
going to be what happens when the Alvarez come and we what's left of them.
Uh, hmm, interesting. Okay. And then Elijah, you're heading into Chimie itself, right, to get a look see at what's going on.
Yes.
Okay. Are you gonna like actually go into the village itself, or are you like
Yeah.
okay,
Kind of
or the town, I should say?
stay well as hidden as possible, but I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to get up close enough where I can like hear some conversations. Get a really good sense for what's happening.
Okay. So the Fort Puerto is lit up really brightly with torches and magical lights. And you can see there are men working to shift the rubble and uh, still trying to like rescue people. It looks like you can see what looks to be the people in charge. They've got they're giving orders, but they're like one of them's got a broken arm, uh, and they've both got like bandages on their head. You know, the like standard like this person is wounded kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, and the whole town is basically a hive of activity, and you can see um, they're mustering their troops for pursuit. Um, and you got a really good stealth, so yeah, you can overhear them talking that they're planning on heading out tomorrow. Um, so from based on the general marching pace of Alvarez armies and other armies in general, you could guess that they will arrive at Kernwith on the 18th. So it is currently the evening of the 15th, and they will get there and be able to attack on the 18th
Okay.
with whatever forces are left.
So we've got some days to prepare.
Yeah. Uh, but as you hear this and you're preparing to leave, you see a key bit of rubble is shifted, and uh, the poor workmen who were shifting this boulder get shoved aside, and you see an Alvarez stormtrooper uh, push his way up out of the rubble, and he is followed by many others. So
Yep.
uh, there's not just going to be humans attacking you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do here before you head back and report your findings?
Hmm. Are there any like wagon trains or anything arriving, bringing supplies in?
Um,
Because I know a lot of things got blown up. I don't know if they are bringing in any
yeah.
supplies or not.
Yeah. Let me check how long it's been. Um, so it is currently. So the explosion was yesterday. Um, so there has not been time yet for
It's been a day.
supplies to
Jesus.
come in. from any other settlement. Like, let's see, Bateau is what? Yeah, Bateau is like a hard day's ride away.
Okay.
So any supplies that they've called in from home are going to be coming in tomorrow at the earliest.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be all for now then. Yeah, I think I'll head out.
Okay. So you're able to fly back uneventfully because you can stick to the cloud cover, and you all make it back to Kernwith at about the same time. Since you guys planned out your patrol routes to pretty much exactly take the remaining time on your wind walk. Um, so you get back just in time to decloud before the spell fades.
Yeah, once we're all back and declouded, I'm gonna pass along the information I've gathered. We have a few days. They shall be here soon. We might want to fortify and perhaps prepare some surprises outside the gates.
How much longer until our forces are here?
So the refugees and whatever forces they have available will be arriving tomorrow. The Marines will arrive on the 17th, and the Headless Hunt, the cavalry that you just mustered, will also arrive tomorrow. The Marines will arrive on the 17th, so the day after tomorrow. And the day after that is the day that it's estimated they'll be able to be within striking distance.
So the regular foot soldiers that we had are going to arrive later than when their forces are.
No, their forces will be arriving on the 18th.
Yes, but we have infantry that are still making their way through the swamp.
Yes, the vengeful dead, the zombies, under the command of Captain Camise Le Rouge, uh, will arrive on the 20th, 2 days after the battle happens.
Is there anything we can do to delay them? Uh, Archdruid, can you control the weather, cause a storm that could delay them by a few days until our infantry arrives?
Mm, let's see.
I imagine we also need to recall the hunters and like the people that we have watching the borders.
Well, the hunters are on the other side of the swamp, right?
Oh yeah, but at least the native Alvarez ones.
Yeah.
I believe potentially continued offensive actions may be our best course of action.
I don't think we can get these refugees turned around and ready to strike before they're prepared. Not when we're not going to receive the bulk of our forces until just a day before they're ready. Then we take a full day to
We
march
don't
to
even
them.
have food or housing for these people yet.
I don't think they're expecting housing. I think they're expecting fortifications.
Let's see. My ability to control the weather, by the way, just to answer your question, only extends out to a distance of 5 miles. So I would need to be fairly close to Chimie to do anything of that sort, and my location would be a prime target for attack.
Okay, yes. Never mind on that then. Hmm.
We do have the advantage of mobility. I forget, but what may be happening at the Ville Punch or the Cathedral of Lights over there. We could attack
We
at any location and cause diversions,
our small
confuse them.
group has mobility, but not our forces, and we will need to take the time here to muster and organize
Mhm.
people. We can't be away for that long up until the battle. This army is going to need leaders.
I don't think this. I don't think a battle is our best option in this situation.
So did Elijah get a sense of how many units they had?
Uh, Yeah, I think you'll be able to do that. Let me just look at the list. So he would have been able to see that they probably have uh, a let's see, 2 infantry units, a cavalry unit, plus the vampire unit. So four units.
All right, and then we have one from the refugees, one from the Marines, and one from the cavalry.
You don't know how many you have from the refugees. You will have one from the Marines and one from the cavalry guaranteed.
All right, what about the pirates? Does that depend on a roll from?
Uh, the pirates you're not going to be getting until the end of the week, right?
Okay.
Because you need to go. You're sending the Black Earl and the Tempest Rovers to go negotiate with them. So that's like your domain action. So this is going to all resolve before this turn ends. And
Okay.
this isn't even like something that like the Cathedral of Light is doing, the actual organization that you're intriguing with. This is just basically a desperate strike by the remains of Chimie
Oh,
to
okay.
try and
All
get the
right.
situation under control prior to um,
Okay. I thought
you know
this was the
for
main battle coming up, and then I was gonna get confused with meta questions. Okay.
no, yeah. So basically, Elijah would have been able to like sneak around and determine this based on what's going on. Is the idea is that essentially they're hoping that, and I guess that he can listen in to them talking about this, but the idea is that they want to strike back and get the refugees before they're more organized, and like Tenelist said, a pitched battle is not in your guys' best interest with the forces that they know about, right? Which would just be whatever forces are part of the refugee column.
Okay.
So the Alvarez think that they can beat the refugees. The question is, do you think that your 2 units uh, plus whatever other tricks you might have can defend the refugees successfully? And a big part of that is probably going to depend on how well you can prep the refugees in the remaining time.
Yeah. And we're already doing one domain action, so we can't do the volunteer blacksmith domain action.
That's correct. But if we advance the clock just a little bit to tomorrow, you'll see a little bit about what I've got
Okay.
going
Yeah.
on.
Let's in the morning once we see the state of the refugees, we'll reassess. But I do
Okay.
agree, Noctum. We might need to retreat for a better position instead of
It's
holding our ground.
unfortunate. Yeah, there used to be decent battlements down here, but they seem to have been reclaimed by the earth, or taken over by farmland or something in the
There
past.
is
I've
still the possibility of striking out at their supply lines. After all, even if our units here need leaders, we can take some small actions, and an army without supply lines is no army at all.
And
Mhm.
Well,
maybe
we
most important, with our fortifications, if we make sure they don't have any of those explosives or cannons, we can hold out long enough for reinforcements, perhaps.
this stronghold is in pretty bad disrepair. We'll need to see what Kemper can do, but I don't think that this place is going to be able to withstand a siege for any length of time.
Mhm. I mean, you do know that Tenelist is right. They don't have siege weapons.
Yeah. Nope, not anymore.
I don't wish to overwork poor Kemper. Elves will get sleepy if we put him to work for too long.
It's also the issue of the supply lines, Minsk, is that we have, while they might have supply lines that we could disrupt, we have no supplies. So,
Why would that stop us as a small group from attacking their supply lines?
because we're not much smaller than them. Anything
No,
that our refugees can carry as they go, their units are also able to carry as they go. We don't have an advantage there.
I mean us, like our strike force, which has been active lately.
I think that Lev's point is that from the point of view of the warfare level of resolution, their supply situation, even if you guys disrupt it to the maximum degree, is not going to be any worse than your supply situation.
It's a valid point. If we can break their forces here, we could then advance on Chimie, and then we could defeat a lot of these people.
How big is a unit, like conceptually? Like, is it feasible
So
for a player? Because we killed a lot of vampires in the swamp when the cardinal
mhm.
captain came after us. Was his whole thing just like one unit or less of troops?
No, I think if I'm recalling correctly, so the units don't intentionally don't have a specific
Yes,
number of
not yeah.
constituent people. Um, so that depends on the unit. Um, conceptually, you probably could take on, well, you might get action economy to death if you try and fight them all at once.
Yeah, that's what I think usually the issue is. But it makes let's
Yeah,
disrupt their supply lines. It's like pretty sure that the scale is off there.
yeah.
Well, okay, but in
Well,
my mind, if they are going to be marching off a couple days, and that means they're going to need people to bring their supplies. As an army, Alvarez doesn't strike me as a Roman legion style where everyone is carrying their own thing. They have a lot of slaves. It probably means they're going to have a baggage train. The more we as a group can disrupt their baggage train, the slower they're going to have to go because they're going to have to protect it. If we can delay them by just 2 days, it changes up everything.
I'm pretty sure that the
Also,
Romans didn't have vampires though. Like
yeah. Well, that is another question. Is you know that they have at least one unit of cavalry, so they do have access to horses, and the supply distance is not actually all that far, even for like a medieval style supply chain. Um, because
also,
like,
when
yeah,
we go to attack these supplies, we could spread ball bearings all across the road so that the horses trip on the way, which would be funny.
we do not have nearly enough ball bearings for an entire road, for an entire
Also, I think the
highway.
ground might be
Oh,
too
not
soft for that.
not the whole highway, just occasionally, just to make them nervous. It'd be funny.
Sure, yes, have fun with that.
Nice. He's definitely going to do that if we attack the trains.
Oh,
He's going to
sure.
go find ball bearings.
Oh yeah, and Persistence isn't going to tell him not to, but Persistence also doesn't think it's going to do a damn thing.
Oh, it's not. It's
it'll
not.
do
This is
something.
just.
It'll
Whether
do
or not the
This
something
is
thing will
to
be
just to be a
one
useful.
jerk.
cart. It'll have no effect on some. Anyways.
This is just to be a jerk since
Oh
it's on the
no,
left.
you forced me to use my mending spell slot. Yeah. Yeah, we just need to
We
sleep on
probably
it and
don't
see
just
what
send
the
horses
status of
to
the
the east
refugees. Because
after
if the
these guys.
refugees were able to abscond with like weapons and they're armed, then we might be able to hold them off. But if they're just like peasants and minimally equipped levies, then we'll probably need to retreat just to buy some time to better arm them. So
Hmm. I
Although
mean, there are.
I'm a little confused as to the array of forces on either side in terms of numbers. Because it sounds like we're going to have the Marines and the cavalry,
mhm.
Yes.
and we're going to have refugees who might be levies.
Yeah.
Is that only constituting a single unit of levy?
He said wait and see.
Yeah.
Oh, so
You
should we
guys
just
don't know
let
that
it
yet.
advance
Yeah, that's
until?
what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay.
No, because I'm there with you. It makes a very big difference whether we get one levy or like three. If we have
Okay.
3 levies, we can fuck their shit up. If we have 1 levy, we might want to retreat.
I'll let it advance then.
Okay. Um.
1 week later.
Well, just a day later.
Yeah, time is an illusion.
Let's see. So.
How?
Is it?
I have a question. Can our druid create a large enough area of dense growth along the road to slow them? Plant growth or
Not
anything
for
like
unit
that?
size. No, the scale is much larger. It's
That's what I was wondering, if you had anything large scale. I've never worked with a powerful druid like this. Out of character, I
Yeah.
just
is
don't
No.
know what the
plant
hell druid spells
there
are.
is plant growth, and I think it affects up to like something stupid.
like 300 feet. Which
Yeah, there's
means-
there's two versions of the spell.
How many times can that be cast in a day? Because if like we can if we
as
can
many-
make six to
Uh,
900 feet of terrain difficult movement, that might help.
Let's see.
The problem is less how many spell slots, and it's the time. To do the 300 feet, you need 8 hours, I believe.
No,
8
it's
hours of meditating.
no, it's the 8 hours is a half-mile radius. Um,
I mean, yeah, if we could get Kimber on that now, and if it can be cast 3 times and just straight going 24-hour straight, you could have a
Yeah,
mile and a half of hard movement.
well, the
I don't know if that would do anything.
So here, let me link the spell for you guys. You can read it.
Yeah.
The 8-hour version does not create difficult terrain. It's for
Okay.
improving farming.
Okay.
Um,
So how much difficult
so
terrain does it make?
so the regular version that takes one action to cast is 100-foot radius,
that's
and she has what?
Ooh.
Let's see. So she uses the Archdruid stat block.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, which has 3 third level, 4 fourth, or 3 fourth levels. That's 6, 9 for the 5th level. So 9, and then 9 spell slots that would work of 5th level or lower, plus her 4 higher level spell slots.
Okay. So sorry, how many total does that come out to?
That would be 13 total, which
So
is
1,300 feet of every 4 foot of
uh,
movement,
that's
or every foot
2,600
becomes
feet
4 feet.
because it's a 100-foot radius, so it's a 200-foot diameter.
Okay, and that's 2,600 feet of
That's half a mile,
times
I think.
4. Well, like so, for every foot they move, they'd spend 4 feet of movement.
Hmm.
That might be enough to slow them down a day or two if we do it 2 days in a row.
What's the cost of them just going around it instead?
Into the swamp.
Into
If
what
there's any
swamp?
more
The
swamp,
swamp is at our
No.
back.
Yeah, they're approaching us
it's
from the grasslands.
it's all
yeah,
grasslands.
yeah, from the right hand side, right?
So
They're
we'd
going
have
this
to
way.
make
I think the
lines of it.
problem with this plan is we need the druid for fortifying
Yeah,
the
we also need a
walls.
druid for the walls.
Well, that's the thing is if we're already planning on retreating from the walls.
I know. Well, we need to see how many forces we have.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Dang. They're moving faster than I expected.
They're moving as fast
Yes.
as we were through.
That's
Also, we'll work poor Kembra to death with all this.
I mean, that is the idea, right? You got it in one, right? They're trying to move faster than you expect.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all rest. Dawn breaks the next day, and the first trickle of refugees comes in, led by, who is it going to be led by? Probably our good friend Nasir. Here we go. You remember Nasir? It's been forever.
Ah, Nasir, it's good to see you.
Ah, yes. Finally, some actually more appropriate accommodations.
Marginally.
Marginally, yes. Uh, hmm, this place needs some work.
We,
Well, I'm sure the dwarves can take care of it.
yes, we,
They like building things out of stone, right?
typically, we just need to find them some stone. Should be plentiful in this swamp.
Yes. Uh, well, myself and my fellow elves are at your disposal. Uh, let's see.
I probably would have been asking while we were doing surveillance. I would have asked Minsk and Arif to like start setting up, like at least designating areas for refugees to go. Just trying
Okay.
to do some pre-organization so that just so people have a place
Okay.
to go and start setting up.
But yes, so if you need some bed sheets made, I believe.
Well, let's get
Uh,
everything settled, and then we can have a nice
nice
long
cloak,
discussion.
perhaps. Yes, of course, of course. Is there someone that I should talk to about figuring out our spot? Let's see, where?
Yes, go Aerith over there. We'll show you where to go.
Yes. And so he brings along with him some elven artisans. So let me go ahead and put this in your journal, and then I'll show to you guys.
All right, one elf levy.
Okay. Let me know when you guys are ready to talk to the next person. Okay.
We got
Let-
elves. Oh, look at them. They'll help Gimper out.
Let's see. Next comes there is a lot of like families of slaves and like women and children, the old, and people who are definitely not fighters.
Okay, we'll put them in the front lines to soften the initial. I'm kidding.
I mean, you can if you want.
Eh, I'm not in charge. I don't think that Jacques
Look
would
at
let me.
them. They're so cute. Why are there so many small ones?
They are probably children.
They'll grow.
Yes. Let's see. Next up, we have our good old Hob Goodsong, who was the halfling chef. It's like, here you go. It's like, uh, hey there, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So, where should we set up shop now?
Yes, we found a place by the old kitchen area.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes.
Well, uh,
Can we roll for survival thing to see if there's like any MREs that we found in the keep? Like,
sure. Roll survival.
Wouldn't it be more of what they have managed to gather on the way?
we can do that check as well, but I want to see what was still in the keep.
Yeah.
I think what might be important.
Fair.
Do they still have the big cauldron around here? We can make a lot of soup.
I mean, let's see.
I think a 16 is enough for a cauldron, but nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a cauldron. So let's see. So he brings along his own halflings.
Let's see. 2 strength, 3
Oh, these
agility.
ones are so small
dodge.
too. Second breakfast. Oh no.
Is hungry a homebrew thing that you made, or is that actually
All of the
from
things
the
in
book?
red are homebrew.
Okay.
No, this unit is actually entirely homebrew because there isn't a halfling ancestry. I'm actually particularly proud of the lucky trait as their racial trait.
Oh, I wonder where you came up with that.
Yeah. I mean, it fits, right? It just works.
Yeah, well,
It just works.
Where are these?
So there's a Chimie refugees folder at the bottom.
Oh, at the very bottom. Okay.
Yeah, because most of these are going to be levies that are
Okay.
they should only be used in this battle, if they're used at all. Because they're like you're going to need all the fighters that you can get, right? So you're just
Okay.
everybody's got to fight.
You did very well finding the art too.
Did we talk before about how many people Camera could feed with the good berries?
I believe the response was not enough.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I figured.
Maybe if we throw all the berries in a soup. And
I
we
mean,
make
the
berry
rule of
soup.
thumb for the design intent for this was that your character's individual abilities don't really have a way to massively influence things unless you
heck, it's a level 9 druid. I wasn't sure if she's got good berry bushes or something.
I mean, I don't know. That seems like a personal question.
Okay.
Awesome, halfling chefs.
Yep. So next, let's see. The next NPC is, let's see, Laura Enzo, who is, remember, the cleric of Hieronius. So she's leading the demi-human delegation of fighters. Okay. Kuzco, could you mute while you're doing whatever it is you're doing?
I'm sorry. I thought I had. I just got a delivery.
Okay.
All these demi-humans.
So this is our place of refuge for today.
For now.
Yes, this will serve well. I have with me my folks here. Let me show you around. You can meet the people, talk to them, see what they're thinking. They've been as let's see. They want to be free, but they're still caught in the grip of the Alvarez propaganda.
Wait, these guys are or someone else?
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Because they're the ones that would be treated marginally better than the other non-human slaves.
Well, I'm sure with time they can be brought around to a more enlightened form of thinking.
Hopefully, if only there was some sort of officer who was experienced with convincing the masses to adopt new ideologies.
That is almost like we are wishing for a propaganda minister. This is very true.
I don't say this out loud, but whatever, like, the worst place for refugees was, I put them there.
Oh no. Okay.
Why would you do that?
Huh? Because I don't like her, and I don't like them.
So just outside.
No.
Like,
They
because
would
not
still
everybody
be...
can fit in.
Oh, yeah, if not everybody can fit in, then yeah.
Yeah, you can only fit.
Unless somebody else says otherwise, that is going to be persistences. If I'm looking at this trait, and if persistence understands that they are going to be the least useful of all the units, then he's not going to...
Yeah.
In fact, I'm looking up if I have the Illrigger ability to kill one unit to inspire the others right now, because that might be a problem.
Damn.
It's
I
terrible.
believe
going
that
on?
is a.
I think it's a higher level. I don't think it's a...
Yeah.
I don't think I have it yet.
I also was gonna skip the martial advantages for this battle to keep things simple.
Oh, that's
and get
probably
us
for
into
the best.
it. For them, I suppose it's.
Elijah, on the other hand, has actively moved in with this group.
Okay.
He is going to start trying to work on them as the propaganda minister works on the outside. He's going to be working from the inside.
Oh, I thought that
'Cause-
you were like, yay, lunch.
Oh no. These are some of the people that he wants to convert. He's going to try to pick out a couple of people from them and make them leaders of the group and see if he can work this to his advantage.
Why do
Okay.
you wish to be so cruel to these people?
I did not say this out loud. I am saying this is telling Thur how persistence would handle it, but would
You
not
think
be
very
making this
loudly.
overt.
As a fellow demi-human, he's going to mix right in with them.
Yep.
So wait,
Okay.
where are we putting? Are the elves with me? The elven artisans? Who's with me?
Here
Yeah,
we can.
I directed him to you. I thought it was going to be less people. I was going to tell him one by one to go to you.
That sounds like a lot of people you can convert to Galati, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I already told you there was going to be hundreds of people.
I didn't know,
Yeah. Do you want to
but
send the
that
non-combatants to
might
me
be
too?
just one unit. Like, I don't know the scale. We just went over this.
I see.
He's giving you the scale.
Yeah.
It's set to grams.
God, if we fight our first battle with like levies and weakened troops, and then our second battle is when our troops finally show up, that'll be funny.
I mean, that is kind of the idea.
I do like the look of all these little halflings and such. We should keep them in the back. We need to find some sluggalo. No, wait, what are they called? The bug deer.
Oh yes.
The stag beetles.
We need things to put in the cauldron to feed all these things, all these peoples.
Let's see.
A good meal will cheer them up.
Yeah, I don't get execution until domain size 4. Shame.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah.
So next showing up are the dwarves in a tight knit group. Detron
no.
Kegmane walks in to the fortress and looks around disapprovingly at the state of the stonework.
Is
Oh, he's not going to be happy about
Oh.
Kemba providing the supplies. Hopefully he
Is
can
this
overlook
it?
it.
is he which one? I'm trying to look. There's so many.
Here, let me show you. I'll bring it up.
But is he the Bos? Yeah, he's the Bosri one. Okay.
Yes.
And it's like, yes, 'tis a sorry state even before the time and swamp were on it. Uh,
Hey, what the heck?
Is there anything that your people can do to get it in some form of serviceable thing? We do have a druid who can summon stone walls.
That should help immensely. If she doesn't cock it up.
I've noted myself that these areas here, and here probably the best, but if your expertise tells you otherwise, I'm not going to argue with that.
Well, sure, those are the obvious places to look for weaknesses, but you didn't see over here, did you now?
Oh
Ooh.
no.
Hey,
Well, he didn't, but I did. See, here you go.
I literally pointed out whatever you told me to, so.
But I didn't tell you about this one. This one was my
It would
secret.
be Tenolus's whole bag to point out all of them except for one.
It would be. It's like,
This was my special one. I wanted to keep this one to myself.
yes, no, I trust you to be as good with building and maintaining
Cute.
stone as I am at killing. So.
Well, if your work at the fort is anything to go by, then that's quite a compliment.
Yes. But yes, food and supplies will be had. Please have your people rest if they need it. But the sooner we can start refortifying this position, the safer everyone here will be, including yourselves.
Yes. Well, let me introduce you to some people, and I guess you can get a sense of the state of his people.
Oh, he's got a good haircut. Good to see that they've been feeding you well.
I love how the xenophobic completely cancels out the stalwart.
Oh yeah.
They're stalwart. Doesn't matter because they're racist.
I mean, if they had a reason to stay, then they
Yeah.
would be much better at it, but they don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is why we gotta cook them some good food.
Maybe.
We will try.
We got a Jeffrey Dahmer this.
Honestly, if these are they all Bosri dwarves or are they a mix of various dwarves?
They're a mix, yeah.
Are the
There's
non-Bosri okay with Bosri dwarves?
yeah, it's actually generally the Bosri dwarves who are not okay with other regular dwarves, right?
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
So, there's a little bit of animosity there, but in the end, they're all dwarves, so it's better than everybody else around them. And the Bosri are definitely in the majority, and so they kind of override any of the more liberal-minded dwarves that might be in the group.
Fine by me. Okay.
Special about the Bosy dwarves.
They are locals. They're located on the northeastern border of Alvarez. So if we can get
Will
them
there be a
to
character in over there?
No, much further. So if we go
Oh.
to the Alvarez Empire map here. So they are all the way up here.
Oh
Am I the
my
only one that
goodness.
forgets just how big this empire is?
I mean, it is an empire.
Yeah, but I
I'm-
often forget.
I'm pretty sure that Thur, Kuzco, and I are the only ones who remember.
I see the other maps off. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the whole map.
Nope.
Not even close.
Yeah, so they're what, you guys are about here. So they're literally 1,000 miles away.
But if we could get them somewhat sympathetic, like even if we can just get them to do raids on the Alvarez to just draw some attention, it'll be beneficial for us. So that's one of Persistence's big goals, is just get them to at least not necessarily agree to help us or ally with us, but hey, if you guys can raise some shit over with the Alvarez near you, then we would more than appreciate it.
And you can make a profit doing it.
He tried that argument. We'll see. I'll be making it a second time before they leave, if they still decide to leave. So, because the Alvarez did enslave their people,
Yeah.
and if there's one thing that slavers are terrified of, it's becoming slaves.
All right, so let's zoom back in
Truth.
here. Okay. So then next, we've got Batul, who was the orc leader from the Orc Confederation, also to the east, who comes leading her captives, former captives. Let's see, and they're all still somewhat spoiling for a fight. But you can see among them that they all bear wounds from the fighting, and that this unit probably did a lot of the fighting in the previous battles to escape. Ooh, let me make it visible to everybody.
Honestly,
There we
surprised
go.
they chose escape over just, oh, we have a chance to fight back to the death.
But if they can get organized and link up with others, they can fight more.
Yeah, I don't expect them to have that long of.
I do enjoy their headbands. They look quite nice.
How many are in this infantry?
It's like 100. It's a company,
Hmm.
so
Is that? Wait, alright, so. Oh, it's the Erg Confederation. Okay. I was sitting there, it's like, Confederate. So are these Asarius orcs? What?
nope, different confederacy.
Yep, orcs, and they just love their confederacies.
Yeah, I mean
Hate
it's
slavers, love their confederacies.
yeah. Well, so the Asarian Confederacy is kind of a tongue-in-cheek, you know, not United States, right?
Yeah.
Whereas or Articles of Confederation version of United States. Whereas these guys are more like the Iroquois Confederation
Gotcha.
kind
Okay.
of nod.
Usually we're tribes that fight amongst each other, but I was like, oh, okay, this is a problem. We got to join up together.
Makes
Yeah,
sense. I mean, that also describes the early United States, so.
that's true. Not a lot of people know that.
Nope. Bachelor's in U.S. history. Doesn't come up often. Alright, yep, I greet them warmly. I am very excited to have them here. If they're battle weary and stuff, no, we need all
How
hands
old
on
is the
deck.
Ur Confederacy?
Um, so my thinking was that it formed kind of in response to the Alvarez Empire. Like previously, like the orcs were there before, but they only united in this or well they only quote unquote united because they're still fighting amongst each other as well.
Like they might be at least a week old.
Yeah. Um, in response to Alvarez incursion into their territory. Uh, so it would be less than 300 years old, which is positively ancient, I suppose, in orcish terms.
Yep. Probably the longest
I
lasting orcish government.
It is.
persistence.
Yes?
Did you want me to try to start healing some of them? Some of their wounds are pretty nasty.
Some of them look a bit more long term than I'm sure you can do. It's like, let us try and put the non combatants and next closest to the halflings with the kitchens, just so we can make sure that they're cared for. And then if it splits with the ergs, the orcs close to them as well, just so that we can get some triage going. I assume that as soon as your people are given some healing, will be more than happy to lend a hand in fortifying, correct? Or do your people need more time to rest after defending the rest of the caravan during the escape?
Well, we're ready for battle right now.
Yes, but warriors deserve to be rewarded when they fight valiantly. But I leave the choice to you.
Battle is its own reward.
Ah, good. Get some healing. Make sure that you are able to kill as many of the Alvarez before you succumb to your own wounds, and we'll do a briefing later.
Yes. Let's see. So then after them, let's see. We've got another unit of non-combatants coming in. These ones are the old. So you got the people too young to fight and people too old to fight.
Okay, yeah, put them. Can you assist with the kitchens?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Did I hear someone say people too old to fight?
Yes.
Humans age. It's a tragedy.
I suppose I'm just not familiar with this concept. We typically use aged revolutionaries in our, as we call them, silver brigades.
Yes, dragons tend to get stronger as they age. Humans tend to get weaker.
Most certainly a pity.
Yes, it's definitely a inconvenience.
Da.
Sounds like a good retirement.
Depending on the needs of the many.
The Savona Knights have no concept of retirement. They die and go to hell, probably in their 30s. So.
And they don't even get to retire then.
Persistence is probably in his late 20s.
Oh.
I wrote down his age.
That's a real Logan's Run revelation.
I don't think he's saying that is they die at 30. He's just saying they probably don't survive past their 30s.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
He's tempting
persistence
fate.
is 33. Sorry.
Oh, so he's like a veteran. Wow.
Yeah. They join the official knights at 18, and then they just fight until they die, and then they fight the blood war afterwards.
You're 33. You're older than me. Whoa, wow, that's impressive. I think I'm only 31. I forget. You are my senior. I'm sorry. I should take you words with more wisdom.
If only.
I think Aerith is the youngest.
Oh, definitely. Unless Minsk is doing some weird, a 2-year-old dragon fully grown thing. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna
You
make
are
it
pretty
not
young,
older,
though, aren't
but
you?
I felt like a 31-year-old like fucking. He's like, oh, he's getting into it.
Minx was a teen through the revolution, so he'd be in his 20s.
I thought the revolution was further in the past than that.
Yeah.
No.
Apparently happened 10 years ago.
How do you...
Not 10, but I mean, okay. When I say teens, I'm talking about young teens for Dragonborn.
Okay, so like 12.
Yeah. And he'd probably be mid to late 20s by now, because it's been 10 to 15 years.
How old is Nash? How old is your character?
Honestly, I'm trying to think. I think I wrote down somewhere. I'm looking.
Wait, so did Grozny have subs?
Submarines?
A lot yeah.
No, he definitely had subs. He also probably had a few
DOMs,
but yes.
From the advancements of the revolution, some of it is stuff that he had begun having them work on. I mean, part of the problem is he was so complacent with the people just doing everything he wanted. He was beginning to branch out into Magitech, and Tavar specifically was a guy who realized what the early kind of Magitech weaponry could do for a people's uprising against the dragon. So he basically funded the tools of his own destruction.
Okay. Makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, because Aerith is only like 21, 22.
She the baby.
That's about the time I took up my crown. Ah, nice
When did
time.
all the animosity between the UDDC and the Alvarez start up? How long ago?
Just a few years ago,
Like
right?
as we know it now, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that they both really came into big conflict in Asarius, because UDDC
Yeah.
started helping Asarius when the Alvarez tried to do a claim, and it's just that was kind of the powder keg that sparked off the current global
Let's
crisis.
see.
I
So
kind of
the-
see it
From a
as
Cold War into a hot war, right there.
yeah, both sides were looking to expand their influence across the oceans, and so the UDDC would have seen the nearby Alvarez colonies as prime territory to expand into.
Oh wait, the UDDC were the aggressors?
No,
not in the initial incident.
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's sort of like, oh wait, this helps us out with excuses for things. Yes, support the Saurians or whatever they are. Let's get
Cassudeli.
this going.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so the UDDC formally declared war on year 1, day 328, and it is
Yes.
currently year 3, day 15. So they've been at war for a little bit over a year.
Okay. What's the? This is definitely going to big world building. How many? Do we have a record of like what all wars they've been in before that one?
The
The Alvarez?
UDDC
The
or the
Alvarez.
Alvarez?
Oh, let us look
I
up
mean-
the map. How many
Many
wars
and
was the
varied.
British Empire in? What do you consider a war? What?
Yeah, because it seems
Yeah.
like, I mean, everything that they've been doing has just been expanding, and it depends on if the people in front of them are more than a road bump or not.
Like
Yeah.
I,
So here, let's
I
go
imagine
back to
it's
here.
that whole like continuous time stream of just like imperialism with just little
Yeah.
little check
Yeah.
marks
So,
along the
so
timeline.
if you look here, so Alvarez is actually this city right here, right?
Yeah.
So it's the Alvarez Empire, kind of similar to the Roman Empire, where it didn't like set
It
out
took over a
to
neighbor.
be an empire.
Yeah.
It just took over a neighbor, and then got into a fight with the next neighbor, and the next, and the next, and then all of a sudden they own the whole like peninsula.
Just
Then
funnily
it's like your
enough,
divine right. It's like, okay.
which is funny because the early Roman Republic got a lot of territory by kings willing their land to the Republic, and the Republic kept on having debates in the Senate about, we don't want to take care of these people, what the hell, we don't want them, and then finally initial people said, wait, but we can bleed them dry with taxes. Okay, fine. It's really wild reading those accounts.
But Elijah's somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60s. He stopped counting.
Oh, so
But
he's the oldest one then.
Well,
Yeah, but
Depend-
he's not gonna talk about it.
Depending on
Yeah.
reckoning, yeah.
He looks 24.
I mean, he looks gnarly as shit, so I mean, how
Nosferatu
yeah,
looking
how
ass.
old does Count Warlock look?
Everyone's seen that guy in college.
Yeah, but, no, you're right.
How old do you look?
He's the
with
guy
dead gray
with greasy
skin?
hair that comes in at the GameStop.
No.
I mean, your fingernails
How-
are probably 50 years old, sure.
How old can you really look with dead gray skin?
I mean, very.
Old.
Yeah.
Like many gamers and that guy in college.
Have you seen?
Meanwhile, I have a live marble skin, and everybody thought that I was in like my 20s or something. Even my player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a nice time. Anyways, who's good at hunting? We need to get some food. Foragers too. Let's see here.
Is that everybody, or
No, you also have the UDDC POWs bringing up the rear with Sergeant Sergey. Here. It's like, comrades, you are a sight for sore eyes.
And it is good to see you as well. It is certainly Fortunate to have you here to help us, and us to help you.
Minsk, I imagine that just as Aerith is tending to the orcish survivors, you're going to be helping to get these troops back on their feet.
Eh, as much as I can. However, I feel I need to be spending more of my time with the demi-humans to awaken them to the Tvarist ideology, so they know what they are fighting
Well,
for.
spend
Or
your
at the
magic
very
here.
least, getting them on our side.
You see Aerith, sleeves rolled up, going, "Hi, persistence. I'll get to him when I get to him. Just hold on. I'll work on them too. I'll have to rest, but
All right.
I'll do my best."
Let me
Yeah.
make sure everything is in order and see that everybody is getting along properly, situated in the right places, and then I'll come help as well. I have some minor training in it.
Yeah,
Have
if
any
you
of
don't
my
mind
rangers
giving me
showed
a
up?
hand.
I mean, there are some around, like in the forest.
We haven't recalled them, if that's what your question
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I just need to go grab a couple of them.
Okay.
I have a mission for them.
Are you the best
Yep.
at hunting, Elijah?
I love the mental image of Elijah just like walking through the woods, like reaching behind a tree, cartoon style, and pulling out a hunter.
Exactly.
That's
He's gonna go
basically
gather up 2 or 3 of them.
I think I'm
yeah, that's
going.
basically what happens.
I'm gonna peruse the crowd and like try to get some folks organized into like I'm not used to foraging and hunting myself, but surely I can get you organized into groups. Everyone, we need to feed you.
Okay. Yeah, so the intent here is that you guys, all these negative traits that these units have, you guys will have the ability to do things that might solve them.
Oh,
So certainly having
I thought we were
Aerith,
stuck with them.
no. So the question is, how many of them can you solve in the 2 days that you have?
All right, so for the orcs have death before dishonor, so I'm going to kill them. No, wait a second. Xenophobic. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, there might need to be some triage here.
Yeah, self-serving.
Yeah, I think we let that one continue.
Yeah, self-serving.
Well,
Hungry.
we just need to send them home. All right, good.
Oh,
I'm
how
imagining that between the walking wounded and the battle weary, we only have enough medical supplies to treat one unit.
Let's see. Well, you guys have 2 full casters in your party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna say if you spent your whole slot of spell slots for the time that you have, the 2 days, then
Yeah, Aerith is sleeping, getting up, healing as many people as she can, sleeping,
yeah.
getting up.
Because how many spell slots do you guys have each? And do you have access to like multi-target heals?
I do have access to multi-target heals.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you do some quick math and
I
see how many people you can heal
Minx
with
can
the spell
shout at
slots you
them,
have
and then they
available?
can move their movement and gain temporary health.
I don't think the temporary health gives them any actual healing, alas.
How good are small children at foraging?
Not very good.
Damn it, they're useless. How good are small children for eating?
The nice
Better.
They're
thing
not
about
eating the
small children.
children.
We could.
We need to make the halflings stronger.
That's cool.
The nice thing about the elderly and the small children is they'll be good at preparing the homes and the food. Let's see, we'll get them organized, and we just need to get some hunters out there.
I think it'd be
Get
funny.
these
It's
people
like
fed, and
we need to
they
get
can
lumber.
prepare the food.
We need to get lumber. I'm going to take 10 6-year-olds, go out, chop down a tree with my sword, and then have them carry the tree back. What do you mean 10 6-year-olds can't carry a full-size tree?
I can heal 52 people at a time.
Wow, she could do a lot better than I
Yeah.
can.
Newsflash. Clerics better at healing than bards.
Yeah.
Think of
Let's see
that.
here. Well, you guys work on that. Should I? I could talk to these
Um,
elves a little bit or something.
So yeah, I think Aerith, if you spend all of your spell slots across the 2 days, then you'll be able to heal both units. So because like I've been imagining each of these units as being company strength, so about 100 people, and not all of them are wounded to the point where they need extra help
Yeah,
or magical
those
help.
are those. I was like, those people get. She's also trained in like med kits,
Yeah.
so she is doing
Yeah.
She is doing battle medicine and healing
Okay. So
all the
Aerith
time.
is going to be busy for today and tomorrow, going through and being a medic to everybody.
Cursing the whole time because she is not designed to be a medic, but she's okay with it.
What do you mean lightning can't cure a headache?
Okay, so the
Actually,
orcs.
funnily enough, it kind of. I think they use electroshock therapy on headaches.
They do for migraines.
What? Oh, okay. There you go.
So the orcs do not necessarily acknowledge your healing, but the dragonborn are very grateful.
Oh, she's having a great time. She's talking to everyone. She's hanging out.
Yeah.
Especially the dragonborn.
On the first day, Minx would probably set himself to inspiring the demi-humans.
Okay. So you're gonna go through and let them know what is your argument for. Like, what are you telling them?
I'm trying to take a look here. Okay, so these guys, their main issue is that they would they be more fearing of reprisal from the Alvarez, or are they just unsure of their position in the new normal?
I would say both. Yeah. So like, their point of view is within the Alvarez hierarchy. You know the thing where it's like, well, I might be low man on the totem pole, but I'm not the lowest man on the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
And
The worst
so,
type of people to deal with.
I might be trailer trash, but at least I'm not black. Like that.
I mean, I wasn't wanting to say that, but that was what I was
Nice.
thinking.
Eh.
And so they're like, they definitely, like, the people that are here, it's kind of a self-selecting thing. Like, they do want freedom and they do want a better lot in life, but they're also not necessarily committed to your cause, and there's still some like deep-seated reservations with their like upbringing of being in this culture, right? So these are all of the like most of these slaves would have grown up in the Alvarez culture and been kind of indoctrinated into it, at least to some degree, even though it was also the thing that was keeping them down.
Mm-hmm.
You know who'd probably be better suited than Minsk? Definitely to help with the proselytizing. That should be the group that Jacques is spending time with.
Yes, I mean, we can say that.
Yeah, I kind of forget he's here.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean, he's not here.
Not
Jacques,
here
you're barely
physically.
speaking. Sir, Achilles, he's
Does
in
he
his
have a
tent.
decent wisdom score? Can he go foraging?
No, I'm gonna send the halflings to go foraging. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's just.
You should probably. The children would
They're
also be
chefs.
really
They don't
useful.
forage.
I literally asked Thur if the children could be used to forage, and he said no. So that
Yeah.
was my
Aw, the
first bit.
kids are so cute. Like they're really small and
They can
like
get
they
in all
have
the nooks and crannies
grubby
where the grubs
hands
are.
that like
Yeah.
to touch stuff.
I killed a squirrel when I was 7. They can do it.
They can pick up worms. They can pick up berries. It's probably poisonous. They might die, but that's probably okay. I could bring one of them back.
We don't have that many diamonds.
So, do we want to have Jock just for that? I'm in my head. I was thinking
I
of
think
things to
Jacques
say,
would
but I
give
could
you.
hold off.
I think Jacques would give you advantage on it because he knows
Yeah.
the people.
I'm also going to be working in that group
Yeah.
whenever I get back from my
Cool. I'll take care of
mission
all
real
the
quick.
useful people then. You guys have fun there. Aerith and
Yeah,
I
again,
will do
which
the
of the other-
actual work, and you guys can just focus on them.
this is also day 1.
Yeah, I don't know which of the other groups I can help out with efficiently.
Yeah. Aerith's time is taken up.
Honestly, the halflings were foraging.
In between the healing sessions, Aerith would like keep the children busy, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like soothe them as much as she could,
Mm-hmm.
because that was like her whole job in Westgate, like she, like before all the stuff.
Yeah. One
But
of the
like,
very popular question with the kids. Hey, lady, how'd you get that cool scar?
hey, where do you see? Sometimes you make a god really angry, and then he strikes you. So,
Hmm.
very valuable lesson.
Is that we were always taught that the gods are false and that the only true entity worthy of worship is the light of creation.
Hey, that's fair, but the scar, it's real. Do you want to touch it? I can make it glow too. Do you want to
Boy,
see
would
that?
I! Oh yeah, that's so cool.
And she like lets you touch, like she lets them like touch it, like she like lights it up as a like through her divine focus, and like
You've got a big group of kids all like going ooh.
she does like simple tricks with her cantrips, and then she's just like, all right, I'll see you all tomorrow, and she goes and passes directly out.
Oh, just asleep.
Yeah, because like, well, I mean,
All
I
day
feel like
healing.
using every single spell slot.
Oh yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely exhausting.
but she does make time for the kids and like
Yeah.
for the old people, and like she does spend like RP time, just
Uh-huh.
nothing super useful, but like just soothing them, distracting them, like talking with
Mm-hmm.
the old, just like trying to keep everyone.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Helm's Deep situation. This is an Aowen, not an Aowen, she's a terrible example. But this is that one lady in Helm's Deep who was like talking to all the kids when
Right.
Aowen was being just the
We got all
most
the old
useless.
people and the children in our crystal cave.
Hey, children, so you like people glowing? Well, watch this. Roar! It's just, no. Instant
It's gonna
instant
rain.
casualty for 10 children.
Well, it looks like we have our division of labor
There we
down.
go. That smells defeat.
I think
Yeah, I'll help the
I'll
halfling.
have to deal with these elves, huh?
If you please.
If you want.
Well, I know some Elvish, and I think that their personalities will be more akin to mine as a wealthy person and them being elves. So
I
let's
assume
see
when
here.
Yeah.
Kendra's done putting the walls wherever the dwarves tell her to put them, she can probably help you as well.
Oh no, I don't think they'll like me very much.
Never mind.
This, I think he's from the Nightshade Court, and they tend to view those of us of the Mire Noctum as something of Hicks.
It
Right?
happens.
I believe that's the common term.
That is the polite common term, yes.
Okay. Yes.
You say the word Kimber, and I'll bash their heads together if that helps.
Please don't. I really want my bed sheets.
Now, as I
I-
converse and interact with these people, by self-surfing, is it like, oh, we're the artisans, we're really good at our craft, and if you fuck up, it's your fault? Is that what you mean by
I
self-surfing?
assume they don't care about actually protecting us because they're elves. So they're not
Yeah.
going to fight to defend everybody else. They're only
So
sticking around
it sounds
because
like I
it's-
should be trying to do. Are we doing roles? I'm gonna do some persuading, I guess. It's like,
Yeah. You can roll if you want in lieu of saying stuff.
well, I guess this is gonna spend some time talking to them and just like getting to know their crafts, and like since they're artisans, it's like, oh, what do you
Mhm.
do? And then maybe I can put them to some useful work and
Mhm.
get them involved.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Oof. I mean, yeah, they take to the work, but they're real snobby about it. They're just like, ah, I can't believe in
Well,
these
it is.
conditions, really.
It's a one, but it's not a failure. Maybe I can help this a
Yeah.
little bit. Fuck, and it's a bet. It's a 10. It's 11.
Okay. Well, you don't make things worse.
Would
We'll come back tomorrow once we get
Okay.
some food ready.
Yes, that does sound nice. A warm meal would be lovely.
Ember, I know you're quite busy, and we are working you like a slave. I regret this, but can you make a big feast?
Let me see.
Or wait, I should talk to Aerith. Aerith, you're also very busy and working like a slave, but you know how to make a big feast.
Aerith, literally, it's one of those like movie moments where she just turns mid heel to stare at you, and then turns back to what she was doing.
I believe
Hi,
it's
I can't make it. I can't do it.
oh, okay.
Um,
Believe
yeah,
heroic feast is like a fucking it costs money, doesn't it?
Hero's Feast requires a gem-encrusted bowl worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
Oh Jesus!
yeah.
But it would get them on our side.
It would.
Tomorrow I'm going. I guess since I did all the talking, I'm going to spend my time looking around the fortress for any special cutlery.
That might be worth 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around the place. What did
Yep.
she keep
Don't
around
you
the
have
place?
enough money?
Not on me. I need a special bowl. It's got to be around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Kernwith's got to have kept some heirlooms around here somewhere.
I cast locate object. I don't. But
Don't waste your spell slot on that.
I don't have any spell slots.
All I know is I took a peek at Druid and I saw Heroic Feast. Is like, this might work.
Yeah, that's what a peak gets
He's
you.
not busy doing it and everything else.
Yeah.
I just remember very clearly the lengths that the critical roll goes through to get those bowls.
Yeah, I was gonna say that finding this thing is nearly impossible.
But what if I find something else to bribe the elves with? I don't.
Yeah.
Well, give.
Okay.
I'm going to investigate the fortress for means of bribing these elves and maybe perhaps dwarves.
While he's doing that, can I give a speech to the demi-humans?
Yeah, certainly.
Minx will certainly set himself up to be as inspirational as he can be with his, various bardic things, and begin as thus. Comrades, you are all here because you have lived your entire lives knowing only the pressure of a boot upon your necks. You strain under the weight of a massive empire who has set itself directly upon you. Yes, there are other hands beneath even your feet, so you know that you are not at the bottom of this massive pyramid of flesh they have constructed around slavery. But still, you are here because you haven't known this life without this pressure. You are here because you know this might be your very only chance to be free of this, to stand with your feet upon the ground and nothing upon your neck. You are worried about those to your left and to your right. Da. You are worried about what might happen after and worried about things the Alvarez themselves have whispered into your ear, even as their consumption of wealth and blood trickles down upon you. You are here because this is very likely our only chance. You have this chance if we stand together, if we stand together now, if we stand together tomorrow. And from there, I cannot promise you lavish wealth, but I can promise you a plot of land for you to stand on with no pressure upon your neck.
Yeah, I don't think I'm even gonna make you roll for that. Good job.
That was really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you. Minx living up to his nature as a propaganda guy.
There we go. That we knew it would come in handy at some point.
Mainly, he's thinking to himself, "Finally, people outside of a swamp I can talk to."
All right, so they no longer fear the light. They have found something to fight for. Each other
Hooray!
and freedom.
Exactly.
And democracy. Oh.
So
Good.
that's what Minx is doing day one.
Okay.
He would also, I don't know how much time we're saying action wise that's going to be for a day, but he would, after that he would go back to the
Yeah.
POWs.
I would say that's probably you're spending the day that's like your big speech of the day, but you would be spending
The
time
rest of it
before
kind of
and after it.
organizing and talking. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But you could certainly try and do something to lift the spirits of the POWs on the second day.
Yes, but I'll wait for everyone else to finish first day actions,
Okay.
which I think is Cell looking for bribery.
I talked to
Yeah.
them and they don't like me too much, but I'm keeping my distance. I don't think they like my face or something. I'm not sure.
Mhm. Let's see. You are searching Kernwith for something to bribe them with.
There's got to be something around here. I don't. Talking to them did not work out.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess I talked to him. It went mediocre. I was like, I don't feel good about it. I'm going to uh, uh, visit. I'm gonna walk around the place and look around the place and just think about the past. I guess.
Hmm.
You could
Yeah.
tell stories to the children or to the old people.
I will after I'm done doing this.
The old people are busy cooking.
Okay. Well, Sel, I'll invite you to flex your creative muscles, which
Oh
you're
no,
generally very good at.
famous last
Um,
words.
so what could you possibly find in this place that would have value and meaning to the elves that would not have been looted in the previous centuries? Or what kind of and it wouldn't necessarily yeah, so or it wouldn't necessarily have to be something of value or some sort of symbol of connection or object that represents something that happened in the past.
Hmm. Well, they're artisans. Elves appreciate. Maybe they're artisans. They appreciate their work being appreciated. Uh, and maybe there might be. Hmm. I wonder. Let's see here. I'm looking at my notes for Kernwith. All I have is their main thing is apparently they lost money, which is not helpful. That's probably why I'm not finding anything good around here. They're a big family, but they lost money, and land supporting a special feature. Let's see here. I don't want to do a white tree, but I have elves I have to impress here, so maybe I'm gonna say it's cliche, but maybe in the courtyard there's a pretty tree with uh, unique and interesting designs in it in the back. Uh, that was kind of the Kernwith family tree that maybe they had commissioned from some elves. They're like, "Oh, I love trees. I want the fancy trees that the elves have."
Okay.
So maybe it's a big bonsai tree, and
Okay.
they cultivate it over time. And I'm gonna kind of share this with them, and it's like, "Oh, look, we appreciate your craft." I don't know. It's not great.
Hmm. let's see.
Maybe
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I can think of. Maybe is like some artwork. I don't know. They're artists, and artists typically like their art being appreciated.
Mhm.
So if I'm gonna show them appreciation somehow,
Yeah. So you're showing it to the what's his name? There's so many NPCs. Even I can't keep
maybe I
track.
could do this. What if this investigation could be used towards I investigate the elves themselves, and
Mhm.
I will go around and I'll compliment the fine artsmanship, and I'll take an eye for detail, and I'll be like, "Oh, this is fine work. Did you make this?"
Mhm.
I'll powder their faces. I don't. I'll compliment them
Okay.
on
Okay.
their fine craftsmanship.
Um.
We'll do that instead because I have no idea what should be happening here. There's a special feature somewhere. I have no idea.
Okay. I mean, I like the idea of a tree with special elven carvings in it. Um.
Something dedicated to the lady, perhaps.
To the pale lady. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's why I was thinking it should be a white tree. And it's like, Gondor did this, but I guess we're gonna reuse it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good metaphor if you can fit it in. Um. So I guess you show Nasir you go
I'll,
around complimenting
I'll
all the
bring them in, and
elves.
it's like long ago, we had this tree planted here to commemorate uh, our faith to the Pale Lady, and our relationship with the elves. It's fine craftsmanship. This isn't going well. I have no idea. I'm not Cusco, so yeah.
Okay, no, it's good. I like the idea. So let's see. So definitely appreciate the compliments on their work. It's the Alvarez. They're real brutes. They don't appreciate the finer points of crafting and needlework, and art in general. They're very brutalist. Um, but they then let's see. Nasir looks at the tree, and he examines it, and he says, uh, "Wait a moment. I recognize this handiwork. This was done by my uncle."
I want you to know that you'll have a home here, and your work will be appreciated.
Hmm.
I've always had
Mhm.
high praise for the elves. They know so much.
Yes. Well, it's good to finally be appreciated after all this time, uh, and to find a connection to home here. It must be something more than pure than dumb chance. Uh,
Maybe we'll make it a little more weebish, and we'll like it has colorful flowers on it. I'll make some of them bloom.
okay.
We gotta have those Sakurai trees or whatever.
I don't know, but
It's
sure.
got the pink flowers or whatever.
Are those
Right.
the cherry blossom trees?
Yeah, those things. I have the druid thing, so I was like, I'll try to maybe with the help of Canberra, I was like,
Hmm.
maybe it was like a little bit haggard,
Hmm.
and we'll like spruce it up.
Right. Um,
I guess I can also cast an illusion. Maybe I can do that too. Make the place look a little prettier. Maybe they'll feel more at home.
yes, this is something more appropriate to our status after so many years being mistreated by those Alvarez uh, uh, villains. Um, let's see. I'm gonna. I feel like there's more to do with this tree here, but I need some time to think about it. This tree feels important. I like that. So I'm gonna say that the tree is enough for them to want to stick around.
So we're
I want to be
not
more
Okay.
using
original,
this
but
for
it's like that's what I
firewood.
got. So
No using it for firewood. No.
Okay. Well then, children, come along.
Uh,
So they can't forage for berries, but they can find sticks?
I mean, I had already
That's foraging.
pledged myself to service and
Are you gonna light the children on fire? What is
No.
this?
That's what I
First you
thought they
wanted
were
to
gonna
eat
do.
them, now you want to light them on fire. This is awful.
Actually, there's like trees and swamps. They have like leaves that kind of like hang down. You can almost
The,
make that like look like almost like
the
like
weeping
wispy
willow.
in the wind, like kind of feel like a dress or something. I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Something ladylike. It's a ladylike tree.
A weeping willow.
Yeah, something like that. Actually, see, you guys know about bleeding hearts, right? It's a bleeding
Mm-hmm.
heart tree. I don't know, something like that. And I'll have to think about a special landmark more later, but I guess we'll just have to go with this.
Okay. So let's see. So that was we know we've got Tenelis, we've got um, Aerith is busy. We've had Minx's speech. Um, so Nash, you sounded like you had something cooking. What are you doing?
Of course. So I'm going to go to some of the scouts, basically as many as I can gather without weakening our, fence around to be watching. Gather them up as hunters, and we're gonna travel out into the woodlands, out to the grasslands, trying to find game.
Okay.
We're gonna start with that. I assume because they are Camber's people, they're gonna be pretty good at survival checks. So I'm gonna be using them to hunt and flush out the game. And if any of them have like a hand crossbow or crossbow of any kind, I'm gonna borrow it and I'm gonna be stealthing along behind them and taking out the game as it gets stirred up. Also, as we're going, if we can get a couple of small game rabbits or something alive, I'd like to capture a couple alive.
Okay. Um, let me bring up the stat block for
I found some pretty
Chemist.
trees, something like that.
We're basically gonna form a line, couple wide, and stealth along and see if we can stir up some game, some birds, anything we can
Hmm.
bring down to bring food back for
Okay.
the halflings.
Well, the halflings are out helping you forage. Like they're
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're following behind. I'm catching the game, cleaning up, and then looking
Okay.
for any kind of, you know,
So I'm gonna go ahead and give them.
natural foods.
I'm gonna give them advantage because you've got them and the halflings and you all hunting. 13. Um, yeah, I mean, I think they gather up some extra food. You said you've got a lot of hunters and stuff as well helping you. Is there yeah. Um, so you bring back a big pile of game for them to cook up for their second breakfast and 11Cs and afternoon tea.
Good. Are we able to take any alive? Any small game?
Yeah, you could take some alive.
Cool. How many? This is important for me personally.
2.
Cool. I'm gonna keep my two rabbits in a bag. Put them in a sack. Feed them some grass and things, and I'm gonna
Sure.
hang them off my waist.
This
Those are
is
now my
your
rabbits.
this is a rat in a bag trick, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Um,
These are my portable healing.
disturbing, but also very in character. Um,
yep.
Yes, it is. He's gonna
That
reach
is
in the
how
bag,
one would describe
grab one
him.
around the neck, knock it out, and then eat it whenever he needs to.
Gross.
yep.
Disturbing.
I'm kind of thinking about this tree some more. Maybe like shadows, like half the fort, and it's pretty and all that. And I think at night it's gonna be like kind of look like a starry sky, and maybe like looks kind of like cool
Ooh,
at night.
that's neat.
I'm making something special like that.
I like that.
Because when I look at this picture, it's like, oh, it's kind of like cool to look up at, and you maybe have
Mhm.
like a kind of a fancy surface below, but probably not anymore right now. But obviously, there's probably part of the castle that's kind of more dedicated to this fancy tree, but you know, probably overgrown the place a little bit.
Each day until the attack, we're gonna do that same wedge, just traveling off in a different direction.
Right, just to gather up more stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna talk to the rangers on the swamp side and tell them to keep an eye out for anything bigger moving around on the swamp side, whether it be alligators or anything sizable moving around on that side, and we'll make
Okay.
a special trip to bring it down if necessary.
Yeah, I mean they spot a few gators, and you're able to sneak up on them and assassinate them, and get some real good big hauls of meat.
Yeah, gators will feed us several people. It's good stuff.
Yeah, several. It's
Especially if
it,
they're halflings.
well. Also remember that the gators here are huge sized.
That's true.
That's 15 feet a gator.
I think it's
I'd
why it's
forgotten about
also
that.
important to like try to make it into a big ass stew if we can. We'll feed more people a stew than just raw meat. Like,
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
halflings following along behind the hunters were gathering roots and things like that, so they can make some stew.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do that each day until the attack. I'm just gonna make sure our halflings stay properly fed.
Stay well fed. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's you both days then.
Yeah, if we have any
Um,
excess food, I'm gonna pass it along to the dissidents, kind of
Okay.
behind Persistence and back. And I'm going to like whatever extra food I've got. I'm going to go with the
You're,
Alvarez once used me as well.
I
I know
want to
how that
ask for a
feels.
sleight of hand check for that, but you're going to pass it, so go ahead.
Yeah, I will. But he's gonna go up to him, just kind of one of the knights as he's sneaking past Persistence with the leftovers. The Alvarez used me once as well. Not being on the bottom isn't bad, but I know you all want more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they seem to respond positively to that and the food. So that just leaves what is persistence doing on the first day? I think you've said, but I haven't really formally acknowledged.
I'm really doing all the administrative stuff while other people are
Okay.
focusing on specific tasks. So, like, the first thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that the dwarves. I'm basically just going to the dwarves and it's like, okay, so this is Archerd Kembra. She can cast Stone Wall X many times per day. It works in this way. Where would you like those placed? That's the easiest way to repair the wall quickly, and then we can begin more repairs from there.
Okay. So you're gonna have them work with Kembra?
At first, I imagine they don't want to spend a lot of time working with Kembra.
No.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask them that, and I'm also gonna have a conversation with like we're healing up some of the other combatants. Would you like some additional manpower to help with the fortifications, or would the amateurs just get in your way?
Oh, they get in the way.
Okay, I will devote them to other duties instead. Meal times are going to be at, and I just I'm going around to all the groups and just saying, once the food is in, this is when the meal times
Right.
are. This is how
Okay.
much we're just making sure everybody is getting fed equally. I am not disparaging the demi-humans more than the others when it comes to the food. It's just somebody needs to get the short end of the stick. Where for sleeping areas, it's going to be them.
Okay.
As the orcs and dragonborn are getting healed and back up on their feet, the dwarves are doing the major stonework. Do these people have enough armaments? Would it be useful to have them gather like long sticks to fasten like makeshift spears for people? Like what's
Yeah, I mean they have armaments like they brought along the dwarves had access to their forges before they left, so they were able to pick up weapons just fine. The laborers have like scythes and pitchforks and these kinds of things. Uh, the elven artisans are probably the lightest armed because they've just got like scissors that they can stab somebody with.
okay?
Um, let's see, the halfling chefs have like all their meat cleavers and pots and pans they can hit people with.
Okay, let's try and get some spears going then. Like you can take a
Okay.
pair of scissors and break it in half and tie each end to a spear and stuff. Uh,
Okay.
like if they're willing to do that, I'm not going to force them to.
I mean, they could
fulfill their
also
lives.
sharpen sticks to make
Yeah,
spears.
but I know, but there's
Yeah.
like you can
Yeah.
if somebody has a dagger, strap it to the end of a stick, and now you have a spear. So
Yeah.
just that sort of thing. Just with the healed orcs and dragonborners are coming off. Are the elves actually doing anything with Cell, or
I mean, they're
Well, they're
doing some
artisans,
kind
so
of
I imagine they
crafting.
can do a variety of things.
yeah?
Yeah,
So
I mean, you could specifically have them be crafting weapons.
I'd probably go to the
Okay.
tailor guy and just like, well, before we can focus on the finer creature comforts in life, we do need to make sure that your people stay free and alive. How many of your people know how to fashion weapons of some sort?
Hmm. Well, most of us aren't specifically weapon makers, but I'm sure we can figure something out.
Okay,
A spear is just a pointy stick after all.
it
Uh,
is.
the sh-
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna. If you guys can begin gathering some materials for it as the combatants are healed by our cleric over there, I'm gonna be sending some people with more combat experience your way. If you can sort of help them craft what we have into better armaments, so we can
Mhm.
survive whatever comes our way. That would,
Yeah,
I believe, that's the best course of action.
of course.
Yes.
Let's see, and the dragonborn and the orcs had the spears that you initially handed out, and then they were like taking weapons as they went along
Okay.
um, from the captors. So
Yeah.
they actually have like real spears and real swords.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm spending my time basically making sure that
Okay.
people like, and if there's more people that need to be crafting weapons, I'd be sending people to help forage. If the probably digging, if there's some people who have like shovels or spades, probably digging trenches in front of the or in gaps in the stonework. So even if there's places that the dwarves can't shore up, just to add additional obstacles to make it hard to assault from those angles.
Yeah, actually, do you want to look at the battlefield?
Yeah,
So
sure.
the dwarves can repair the fortress. Um, Between them and Canberra, they've got the stronghold covered. So if you
Glorious.
wanted to be directing whatever excess labor to building other fortifications, you could probably do that. Let me go ahead and look at the book here about that because there's a thing where it says how long it takes
I
to
imagine again
erect.
just like sharpening some spikes and sticking them in the
Right.
ground, pointing outwards. Especially if they have cavalry, just protecting our flanks that way.
Hmm.
Is there anything specific I should do for my second date? Maybe I could like negotiate with the dwarves. Maybe make them sign a contract that where they can't retreat. Maybe they'll honor that. I don't know. I have no
Let's
idea.
see.
Just
Uh,
really lay into him about racism.
Well, I don't think I can solve the xenophobia, but I can make them like, oh, you're dwarves. You honor contracts and stuff,
I
or something
I
like
would
that.
I
Don't leave.
on the second day.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm gonna try and do something with the dwarves. I'm just
okay.
making sure that
I can probably like assist you with that, and we'll like talk to him as like, you have to stick around for this long, but after that you can leave or something, and we can help you. I don't know. Maybe like some type of agreement where they are incentivized not to retreat on a failed morale test or something
yeah.
like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
Because we can't fix the xenophobia, but maybe we can overcome them wanting to retreat instead of just staying. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Like,
Let's see. I'm gonna say, so Lev, you can probably put up like a couple of stone fences if you want, just like in these two squares. Or if you want to put them on the side, you could do
I
that
would be
as
putting
well.
them on the side. Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and do I have?
So how do the fences work? Because I also don't want to like block our troops onto the front lines.
They do not block movement at all.
Okay, so they just provide AC for one side or the other.
Essentially, yeah. Um,
I would put them in a place where they'd be useful. Oh boy, where they would be useful for our troops and not benefit the enemy. And I can't say exactly what that's going to look like. So
yeah.
I didn't do the practice combat thing in your
Yeah.
Green Sea
Well,
campaign.
the main thing is you
Well,
can't really
it's
show this on the thing, but like it would be on a lower ground than what the castle is, so thus people can see into the walls. You know.
yeah, in a stone fence, it doesn't like block line of sight or anything. It's literally just you have your unit behind it.
I imagine if we have
So
archers, they'll have like the height advantage, and things like, oh, I can see them, and then probably
Yeah.
archer the shot to
I
get
don't
back
think
there.
we have any art unless any of these people can make themselves bows and arrows, which I doubt.
No,
I
not
think our
enough
Elvish
to make a
craftsmen
unit.
would be like the best ones at that, and we'd have to find a way to get them some strength.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, we're getting. I don't think we can cure tallow.
We had to make spears instead of bows, so I don't know
Well,
even
yeah,
know if
but
we could
again,
get the
I don't
bows
think we
feasibly.
have anything to make. Like we're getting animals, but I don't think we're. You
Maybe
can't.
there's a spider in the basement.
It was.
Wait, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna investigate the basement. Maybe we can make some make some bowstrings and spider web.
That's not how actual silk works, but okay.
But the world doesn't have giant spiders left. I'm going into the basement. Maybe something's down there.
But
I
that's a
don't know.
good thing. Instead of because I'm having to make armaments.
I gotta have something for my second day, so maybe I can.
Yeah. Like if I'm asking them to make spears, and they're just like, "Oh, what if we can make arrows instead? If they have the materials for it." Like,
Well, they need like feathers for fletching for arrows.
do we
Oh,
have
that's
any?
I
true.
guess.
Did we rescue any Aarakocra?
I was like,
No.
the hunting party is finding birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work out.
I
I
wonder.
didn't think it's likely, which is why I went with spears, which is the ultimate quick service.
Yeah.
You know, turn a bunch of
Right.
rabble into an army.
Man, I don't have survival to do this. What?
Let's see. Oh yes, I did move you. So do you where do you want these? Here, let me give you control over these, so you can place them where you want them.
Honestly, where you have them is probably good because if they advance on us, then we can catch them in between us and the walls. So.
Okay. All right, that's where they are then.
I don't know enough about this fighting system, this combat thing, to know of better
Do they have
places.
cavalry?
Nope.
Oh, we lost our
They
cavalry.
do have a thing with cavalry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oop, I think you lost. Ooh.
Oh, I was just wondering if like we could like put it on one side, and thus they can't like
There we
flank
go.
on that side or something like that.
It's
I don't know if that's better than what this is.
So the way that the fences work is they provide a morale boost to everyone
Oh.
on the battlefield. So you have a
We might as well
keep,
just have dudes there then. Okay.
and so you have a keep and 2 stone fences, which gives you +5 morale to all units in the battle. And then the stone fence gives +2 defense, and the keep also gives +2 defense for anybody who stood in them. So basically in these 6 squares now, so it used to be that you had 4 squares where you get +2 defense. Now you've got 6 squares where you get +2 defense.
okay. And is there, if we get driven from the fences, would they get the bonus if they occupied it?
I think technically, according to the rules, yes, but considering that the fence has directionality, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Like we can clearly see like where it's intended for the fence to be pointing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say yeah, they don't get it. They don't get +2 defense.
That's my main thing, is I want to put in a place where it only benefits us and won't benefit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
once
part
they
of
get
us
in
is
here,
also the part of how you do that is the construction. You put more of a slope to our side and a straight drop on their side, giving us the height advantage.
Yeah.
But the moment
Yeah.
they're over it, they're on the slope, which means they're not getting the same advantage.
Yep.
Right.
Same way
Right,
we
yeah.
built bulwarks in the army.
So yeah, so all the wall is pointed that way. So yeah, they won't get a benefit once they get into this direction.
Actually, I know what I'll do for the second day. I'm in desperation. I'm going to look if there's one of those secret caches of weapons at this fort.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
I would have been.
Okay.
I would have probably been doing that the first day we arrived. I just didn't want to delay anymore. Can I give him assistance?
Fuck
Well,
off.
he doesn't
Oh,
need
They
it.
don't know
fine.
where this shit is.
Yeah, there absolutely is.
You Philistine. This is my country.
Oh, look,
Get
bows
outta
and
here.
arrows.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Give those
Bows
elves
and
some
arrows.
bows, dude.
So if you can give one of your units bows and turn them into an artillery unit instead of an infantry unit.
What's
Yeah,
this? A
but-
trebuchet, the
I think we
superior
all-
siege weapon.
All know it's going to be elves.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. I'm gonna give it to the
It's
halflings.
it
I don't know if
should
that
be
works.
one of the ones that will retreat if it gets injured that we're not able to. Yeah, it's going to be the elves. It's not going to be the dwarves. Unless it's guns, then it's the dwarves.
Okay.
Yeah, the elves aren't stalwart, so might as well just give it to them.
The stalwart gets cancelled out by the xenophobia.
Okay.
I'm checking the
Here.
stats. The elves are. Wait, what the fuck? The elves have just as much defense and toughness as the dwarves. The only difference is the elves have +1 attack compared to the dwarves.
Huh.
Might as well give
That's
them the
weird.
bows.
And they have mobile and eternal versus stalwart.
Elves be OP.
Attacks 1, damage 1, tier 1, casualties D6, none. Yeah, they're just better than the dwarves.
I feel like mobile will work better for the people with bows. So
No, it's a follow-up movement. It's not what you think.
It also does withdraw.
Oh, okay, yeah.
well, if they get people in their faces, they can get backup.
Okay.
The dwarves are just as good as the halflings, but the halflings have lucky.
That's weird.
Well, that's what happens when you're
Your
racist. I
dwarves
guess.
suck.
I mean, I copied it directly from
Holy
Colville's
shit,
book.
the Dragonborn are so much better than everybody. Well, yeah, they should be.
Yeah, because they're not levies.
Yeah. Oh, they're not levies. Ooh, they're
Yeah,
veterans.
the Dragonborn and the orcs are not levies.
I love
let's
that for them.
I
let's
love
see.
that for us.
Elf
Good thing we healed them.
artisans.
Good job.
Yeah.
3.
The Dragonborn are better than the orcs. They have more defense. They have 2 more defense, 1 more power, 3 more morale, and 1 more command.
It's that sweet, sweet communism.
This unit
Yeah.
cannot be disorganized or weakened and is immune to the harrowing trait.
Once again, it's that sweet, sweet communism.
Yeah, that is weird. I guess it's not intended to be balanced, but
Well, they're intended. I think they're intended to be balanced in the StarCraft definition of balance.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming there is some idea that getting the unit will be more, or upkeep will be higher, or that it's
When I
harder
say
to get as many
StarCraft,
numbers.
in the Blood Bowl version of balance, where
Yeah.
it's about how they interact with the rest of the team. Because dwarves have a bunch of other units and stuff. So
Yeah.
okay, so it's so definitely.
Well, I think it's also supposed to be like you get what you get, right? Like you can't necessarily pick I want elves, I want dwarves.
Right.
It's you have access to elves or you have access to dwarves.
I mean,
Also, these dwarves are just like they're smiths, they're levies. They don't have their famous crafted armor
Yeah.
and bullshit.
yeah, the elves are the strongest of the levies, so definitely make them the artillery.
That makes sense.
I didn't
If
even
you don't
look.
have shit.
I didn't even bother looking at the demi-humans. I'm role-playing my racism too much. The demi-humans are worse than the dwarves because they have... Oh, no, wait, no, the dwarves are still the worst because the dwarves have -2 morale and -1 command, and the demi-humans have -1 morale and +0 command. And they also have advantage on morale and command tests, the demi-humans. Yeah. Okay.
Good thing we spend any effort on trying to win them over because they're racist.
I mean,
Well, We're still probably going to try, because
I
that's a
am
big deal.
I am spending effort on winning them over by treating them with how they imagine respect is, because I want them when they go home to try and convince their
Mhm.
comrades to start shit with the Alvarez. That's my whole plan.
Good luck.
I mean,
I found my secret cache. I'm happy.
no, you did great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Realize I'm doing something, but because I'm not doing anything, I feel like I'm not doing something.
You're
You
doing
know what I mean?
probably the
Oh, you're
Same.
doing
you're doing the most.
lots.
Yeah.
I know, but like as me as a player, I went, all right, this is what I'm doing, and then I'm done,
Yeah.
and so I'm just like, man, I don't feel like I'm doing
I mean,
anything.
you're doing the most. I'm
RP
doing
more
the
healing, I
least.
guess.
Like, I'm doing the things that need to be done, but that if I didn't mention, Thur would probably hand wave, as of course you guys did it.
Like you probably look haggard as hell, just like healing and dealing with all these
She's
people.
so
Yeah, you
tired.
look like shit. Sorry, Aerith.
She's hot. She never
The
looks like shit. She
kaleidoscope
just looks
dress
sleepy.
is dirty.
She would not be wearing that. That is for special occasion only. She is fully in her armor. These are warriors. She is here to earn their respect as she is
we could
healing them.
probably we could probably get the elves' respect if you wore the kaleidoscope dress.
If we had any free time, I'm gonna say
I have an
this
idea.
fucking
Oh no,
I
this
have an idea.
fancy
I'm
tree has
so
an
sorry.
old.
I have an idea.
Hmm.
I'm also a little intoxicated, so let's go. It is the kaleidoscope dress with her breastplate over it to give that like battle maiden look. That's how she's doing it. On God. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost kind of thinking this place like so it has the big fancy tree. I'm kind of almost thinking it kind of has like an well in the past there probably had like a like kind of a theater, open theater,
Mhm.
where you could like guests could like visit and be like, oh hey, here's our big tree. You can enjoy some opera under it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
100%. Definitely
the
opera.
stage that's probably still kind of there. You can like show off on it. I don't know.
Okay. Um, let's see. So we've still got 3 units with detriments. The UDDC POWs are homesick. The Confederate captives are in it to the death. And the dwarf smiths are still xenophobic.
I'm gonna say the in it for the death thing is not really an issue. So
Well, I think if we could build a big cannon and just like put the UDC in there, it'll fire them over to their home, and then they just shoot them back when we need them.
airborne, dragonborn, yes.
Well, I had an idea about that one. The in it to the death. While
Mhm.
Aerith is healing them, I think legitimately she would be talking about it, like, because their detriment is like they don't. I don't have it pulled up. Hold on.
They will not withdraw or retreat.
I mean, that's cool. That's good. But like, but also life is important. I think Aerith is just like as she is tending to their wounds, she is like just like being gentle with them, asking them about their families and like you know what they wanted to be when they grew up, like all of these sort of
They are grown up though.
yes, but what they wanted to be when they were kids, like did you
Mm.
want to be like you know, did you want to be a painter? Did you want to like she is trying to get to know these people
Mhm.
as much as Aerith can.
Okay.
Because she is incredibly gruff on the exterior. But yeah, it's these she's asking everyone, you know, what's your name? How old are you?
Very.
She's just trying to get to
Yeah.
know them, and I would like to use that sort of towards that if I could.
Uh-huh. Um. Hmm. So all right, I'm gonna allow it because and here's why, right? Because because everybody else has had a chance to like role play and like talk about what they're doing, and you just kind of have been mechanically like healing stuff. So I like this opportunity for you to also do this role playing stuff. So I think that's why I'm gonna let you do a little bit more. Um, so uh, as you're healing these orcs and tending to their wounds, almost like in spite of them, like uh, a lot of them, it seems, um, like your gruff exterior and directness actually helps you here because these people are also gruff and direct and have rough exteriors. Um, and these are people who consider themselves to be, something of a failure, right? They come from this proud warrior culture, and they were captured and enslaved. That doesn't happen to strong warriors. That happens to weak cowards. And so there is kind of this uh, sense of needing to win back their honor and uh, fight off this shame that they have brought upon themselves by allowing themselves to be captured and enslaved in this humiliating way. And now that they've been put in the situation where they have a chance to go out on their terms, uh, they're they would rather that than go back to being slaves. Um, and they generally feel like, and again, this is like uh, summarizing across a lot of them because they all have their own unique stories and thoughts on the matter. But in general, they don't see a way out, right? Like even if you win the battle here today, um, like there's more coming, uh, and they're a long way from home, so they're not going to get back. And even if they got back, like, would they be welcomed back with open arms? It's a good question. And so, better to die here with honor than to live to face the uncertainties of tomorrow. And so, the question I have for you then is, how do you push back against that?
Um, maybe it's the booze talking, but Aerith is incredibly moved by this. Um, because she knows sort of in a different context how that feels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think very quietly, so as the others don't hear, but like very quietly, she would talk about Ilya.
Mm-hmm.
She would talk about understanding this this desperate sort of fear of what if they don't accept me? What if they don't choose to, take me back? What if I am alone? And I think that's when she brings up maybe not probably Keelandianism, but like she talks about how there is always someone, and she uses herself as an example here where she goes, I you might not think you have anyone, but I can tell you right now, no matter how far you are from home, there will always be someone who is willing to reach out a hand to you. There's always a purpose, there's always a time and a need for you to be alive. That I promise. And if it's a silly girl with long ears and crazy ocean hair reaching out a hand, it's someone. I promise you. At the end of the day, there will always be someone who's willing to take you for who you are. I understand the fear and I understand the hatred that's coursing through your body right now. I understand exactly. But I promise you someday you'll wake up and you're much happier, much better off being free. And she extends her hand to the nearest orc next to her and she's like, all I'm asking is you take my hand. Don't throw yourselves away out of fear, out of shame. Because that's the cool thing about shame is tomorrow's another day and you can work on maybe not making it better, but definitely making it different. And she does. She reaches out a hand towards whoever she is addressing
Uh-huh.
at that point.
The orc that you're tending to, that had minutes earlier was on his deathbed, looks up at you, and he doesn't say anything, but he takes your hand and you pull him to his feet, and he just gruffly nods to you. And you have similar conversations throughout the days with other various captives, and the word spreads, and nobody says anything, but the orcs are moving with a purpose now. Before, they were dead people walking. They were looking, they had one foot in the grave, and now they're ready to fight to see tomorrow.
Aerith, after she heals the Dragonborn, is going to spend most of her time with the orcs. Like,
Okay.
this is it for her now. Like, it's
Mhm.
these people.
Okay. Uh, Another incredible display
Wonderful.
of
Indeed.
RP.
I was thinking
Uh,
about my tree.
uh, let's see. I think I have an idea for the dwarves. Uh,
hmm
so the first night after everybody has done their first day of, they're helping to build the keep. We hopefully gathered enough food. We can get stuff. Campfires are going. I imagine the Bosri dwarves are all sitting off by themselves just around a fire. Uh,
Yeah.
Persistence would probably pull up with one of the stolen bottles of wine from the stronghold cellar, and then a deck of cards. It's like, gentlemen, you look like the sort who knows how to play a good game of cards.
Aye. What's that you got there? Some grape juice or something?
Ah, well, something strong enough for a vampire, so probably mostly water, but it's free, and I stole it, so it tastes even better.
Ah, well, let's see how well you if you play cards as well as you banter.
So not half as much, and then I sit down, and the main thing that I want to try and do while we play cards is I want to take the sword off my hilt while I'm sitting down resting against my arm, just try and prompt them to ask a question about the sword. I'm a manipulative knight of hell. I can steer
Yeah,
conversations.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as the conversation goes along, it says, uh, "That's a fine sword you got there. Who
Oh,
made it for you?"
no one made it for me, and I sort of pick it over and I sort of hand it to him in the sheath.
hmm
That's
Uh,
that sword killed my brother.
hmm. My condolences.
Ah, no need. I've already done my part to avenge it. The vampire who used it, I turned to mist, and then I'm not sure how much you know about the Knights of Savona.
Uh, we know enough in the kingdom, and he pulls the sword out of its sheath and kind of examines the edge, gives it a test swing, uh, looks down the center of it to kind of give it an assessment, and he keeps talking to you while he's examining it, and says, "This is fine work."
It should be. It's
Uh,
already slain two of their saints, which I believe is
hmm.
a good deal of recompense for what they've taken from me, but No, it's not really enough, is it?
No, it takes a lot to scratch out a line in a grudge book.
No. I believe the Alvarez has taken something from everyone here, to one measure or another. And the best thing that we can do now is just make them pay for it dearly.
Hmm.
I know that you don't necessarily like these people, but they share a common enemy, and there is no way that you will ever be able to have your vengeance unless you stand with them. Just give them a hard look.
Yeah. You misread my motivations. Our fight is to preserve our own race. Uh, Vengeance, while a noble goal, I acknowledge, is not something that we can often afford to pursue.
Yet, I don't believe that you can afford to just let the wound fester at your border. They'll come for you eventually. As soon as the other thorns in their side are dealt with, their reach is long, their armies are mighty. You'll survive for well enough. You are dwarves, you are defending your homeland. You'll give them hell, but you'll never be able to bleed them dry. Not if they've already taken care of the rest of everyone else. This is the best chance for you to remove the greatest existential threat to your existence as a people. And if you don't take it now, then, well, you dwarves live long. You'll probably live long enough to see your people all die.
He looks at you up from the sword and he says, um, your words have some truth to them, but do you really think that the Alvarezes are as powerful as all that? And if so, what do you hope to stand against? How do you hope to stand against them?
I sort of smile. It's like, my people are made of devils and angels who stood side by side to drive back an incursion from the abyss. The Alvarez are nothing compared to that. But I also know that it is possible for those who previously saw no way to work together to be able to unite to fight against overwhelming odds.
Well, I suppose if angels and devils can learn to work together, mayhap there is some merit in your proposal.
Well, in a few days, I hope that you will see the truth in my words, and we can have a further
Mhm.
discussion.
Yes, we shall see the truth of your words put to the test.
Yes, but for now, Royal Flush. Pay up, boys.
Ugh. Here. And he sheaths the sword. He says, take your weapon. I think you'll have need of it.
Oh, I plan to use it thoroughly.
Hmm. Come speak with me after the battle.
Intent?
Perhaps there's something I can do for you.
I expect there'll be something we can both do for each other.
Yes, I'm given to understand that Savonans are very fond of deals, much like your devilish patrons.
Oh, indeed we are.
Uh, yeah, so you spend the rest of the night playing cards and getting to know them. And I think that was a very good point. So they are going to stick it out.
That was the
So
most persistency conversation I think I've ever heard. Because
that was
all the
really
rest of
good.
us went with like reaching out like emotionally, hitting these horses. And
That's not
Persistence is
gonna
like,
work
get
for the
fucked, you
dwarves.
racist.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for the dwarves.
Hey guys, we're in this together. If you don't work together, you're gonna die. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, then die. What do we care?
It's like, eh.
That means you're gonna die too. So your race won't be around very long.
Yeah, no, I think that was perfect. I particularly liked your point about angels and devils working together. Uh, that was an excellent little bit.
Persistence isn't necessarily worried about the Alvarez like taking everything over. Like they can't even take over Savona for fuck's sake. But he does think that it's stupid that the dwarves aren't using this larger scale war as an opportunity to strike back. Like that just genuinely seems suicidal to him.
Hmm. At the very least, it's not taking advantage of an opportunity that's right in front of them.
Yeah, and if they don't take advantage of it for long enough, then they're just gonna eventually
Then it's
be
signing
overcome.
their death warrant.
Yeah, and they're a long-lived people. They will live to see it. Like it's not even a
Yep.
even a think about your children. It's like think about when you're older and you could have done something when you were younger, but you didn't, and how much you're gonna regret it as you're
Yeah.
just choking on your own blood.
And now you're too old to fight back.
Well, I wouldn't
Being
insult a dwarf
racist
by saying
worth
they're
it?
ever too old to fight back, but
Okay. So let's see. So is that all of the different negatives? Let's see. The Confederates are ready to go. The demi-humans are ready to go.
Well, we haven't tried
Dwarves are ready to
shipping
go.
The
UDCC back to
Oh yes,
UDCC.
the UDDC are still homesick, but they do have a famous performer.
I
And
wasn't even worried about that one.
Right? Right? I would like that's why you mentioned those, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'll try to take care of the orcs. We have a UDC.
Excel did say that there is an amphitheater here.
Cell says a lot of things.
Yes, but when Cell says them here, they could possibly
no.
be canon.
Cell, tell us that there's a Dairy Queen nearby.
Well, I've been thinking about other special features, but I think
Gap and
we
beyond.
have the special tree that serves as an amphitheater, so I think we might as well have this place be a place of song. Maybe some dragonborns can perform.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like we all think it's obvious, but Kuzco, what are you doing?
He's going to be setting up. Today is also the day when the Marines arrive, right?
Yes. The Marines arrive on
The 17th, the Marines and the
the
cavalry.
17th. Yes, the cavalry were here yesterday. If it's the 17th.
Oh,
Because
sweet.
they're faster.
Yeah, they're slightly faster.
Okay, I put them to work.
Are the pirates
just-
coming too, or is it just the
The pirates are going off to negotiate with the other pirates.
other pirates?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
put the cavalry to use just being forward scouts so that we don't get surprised by anything that the
Okay.
Alvarez do.
Okay.
So yes,
And the guys without heads to go scout.
what Minx would
You
check
can throw
on
the heads,
is
put ropes on them.
when the Marines are going to arrive, and he would time it so that he would begin, some of his performance as they are nearing, with the intention being of just as they're going to be kind of hitting the area, he'd finish one of his songs and then prepare for another speech of his as he would look out across the POWs and start with, "Comrades, I have of course heard many of the rumblings from you. The comments of how you are missing many of the features we have back home. And I was thinking to myself, of course, how silly this is in a way only we could know. For our homeland, is it not a bitter and harsh place? We have all spent many days, I am sure, being trained in going straight from the fields next to the lava flows into a blizzard. We go from one extreme to another. We are faced with a land that many before had simply deemed inhospitable and cast aside, but we have survived. We have thrived in this place. And we do this simply because we must. It is all of us, always together, marching forward. It has been a part of us for longer than the memory of even a red dragon. And we always look forward to this because it is within us. This homeland that we miss is within our hearts. It beats within us. Every drop of blood forged by this bitter place that we alone know to be home. For it is us. As its blood is within us, we are its blood, rising again together as a giant wave, not an individual, to wash away with an unending tide, a corrosion against every form of people who try to keep us down. Again and again we rise, for we are the unending tide. And to this I will sing. And for that, he's going to launch into the oldest folk song he knows, just as the Marines are marching in, so that everyone of the UDC together can begin singing in unison.
Yeah. So the crowd, the POWs join in with you, and then as they hear across the fields marching, the sound of marching boots and the singing of their comrades from home come to help them, and it is a joyous song of freedom and dragons and Svarism, uh, and everybody is inspired. And although they still miss home, they miss it less because home, in a way, has come to them. And in a way, it was always with them, as you said in your speech. And with that, everybody prepares for the battle, which will surely come tomorrow morning. And I think that is where we will pause for tonight. And so we will start next week with our first warfare battle.
Should we assign commanders to the units before we go?
Yes. So let's see. So I assume that there's a couple things that I'm going to assume. So I'll just go through it as I do the thing. So I assume Cusco is going to want the POWs.
Yep.
You don't want the halflings? Halflings are right there. I'm kidding.
Let's see. I assume that Aerith is going to want the Confederates.
Yep.
Okay.
I know you wanted to put me in charge of the elves, but
Yeah.
I'll take the elves.
You're not
If
going
they
to take
do
the
ranged
demi-humans?
weaponry, I'll take the elves.
Okay. Well, we're not getting our advantages. So.
Yeah, you remember you're not
Yeah,
doing
not-
martial advantages.
Not yet.
And these aren't necessarily permanent. Because the levies, so the only things that are permanent are the Confederates and the UDDC POWs.
They're the only things that are, for now, for sure permanent. Who
is
knows what will
true.
happen?
We're going to be giving the bows to the skeletons afterwards.
So let's see. So who does want the elves? Does Noctum want the elves, or do you want?
Elijah
thought-
wants the elves.
I just took the elves.
Okay, so Elijah takes the elves.
Well, it sounds like we're not getting our bonuses, but normally my bonuses revolve around the cavalry, and it sounds like they're here. And I have a horse if it came, if it
Yeah.
showed up.
Yeah.
It showed up, yeah.
All right, so I'll take along with those dudes.
Okay. And then let's see. We've got the demi-humans are not assigned yet.
Persistence, you take those demi-humans.
I can. I'll take the demi-humans and the dwarves. Sure.
Or do we
wait,
want to
should-
give them?
thrown into the fucking
Do we want to
front
give those to
to
Jacques?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
give
makes
the
more
Demi
sense.
to Jacques. That makes a lot more
Okay.
sense.
I'll give the dwarves to persistence.
Yeah.
I'm sure since they'd be the closest to like the people of Bateau, and since he is the former
Yeah.
Viscount of Bateau, maybe some relations to those guys.
Yeah. So I guess that leaves the halflings with Cell then, with
Well,
Noctum.
he's got the cavalry because we're also getting the cavalry and the marines.
Yeah. There's gonna be more than one per person for some people. Some
Yeah.
people are gonna get two.
I
I
assume.
will take the children.
No, I need them.
No, because you're gonna either eat them
No,
or
come
use
into the
them for a
I don't eat
firewood.
children. What?
I,
I'm
you
not
know, it's
Elijah.
it's my headcanon now that Precision secretly eats children, and that's why he's
What?
hot.
Elijah's just standing behind one, licking his
Listen,
lips.
I am literally the most refined person in this God's forsaken group. I
Okay,
cannot
so
eat
there's
children. I-
there is literally a like countess in history who was the most refined bitch in the world and bathed herself in the blood of virgins. So like you could be the most refined bitch on the planet, but like you could eat children. That
I
could be
mean,
your
I'm
weird
not
thing.
opposed to like child labor and stuff like that, but I'm not going to eat
Ooh.
them.
Like you could, I don't know. I don't know what Persistence does in his
We
off
literally
time.
have a vampire. Why is the vampire not bathing in their blood? What is-
Because
Because
he's a
currently the
known
bathtub
evil.
is not in good shape. I think Alvarez took the bathtub.
No, fair. But yeah, I'll take the dwarves. I assume that the marines are going with Aerith as well.
But no, the
Nope.
You mean
UDDC
Oh,
Cusco.
the
Marines.
UDDC marines, not the pirates. Sorry, got them mixed
Yeah.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If
I
you
guess
want
I'll.
the children, you can have the children.
The
I'll take
children.
the old people.
I'm kind of thinking maybe in like the roots of this like weird tree, maybe there's like a little bit of a fancy basement, or was, and maybe we can hide a lot of those non-combatants down there.
Yeah, that's what I assume. Helm's Deep style.
Since I made this thing around this weird rock tree, I got like, all right, I got all
Nice.
the
Put 'em-
features around this fucking thing.
Put them in the bow and arrow vault.
Yeah, that's
Right.
probably where
Night-
that's probably where it was. It was in the roots of this fucking tree,
Mhm.
so got
Uh,
down there.
so
The night before the battle, I'm gonna eat one of my 5 rabbits.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say one of the
I
children.
fought
was
children
like,
too.
Aerith
I
immediately
was right there
finds
with
him
you.
and
I was gonna be like,
punches him in his
see,
face.
see, don't blame me.
It's a known evil versus an unknown evil. I don't know what Persistence eats. I know
No,
what
that's-
Elijah eats. I
That's
don't
for
know
the
what
end of the
Persistence
battle.
eats.
I'm gonna go around and just nick off one of the weakest ones after the battle.
I will kill you.
Definitely keeping the children in the
You'll have
basement.
to catch me.
I will
You-
shove my warhammer so far up your ass.
So, all right. So for the archers, is Noctum getting the cavalry and the archers, or can he not?
that yes. So
Okay.
you can control up to your proficiency bonus of units.
Okay.
So you can each have up to 3.
Well, the question is more: can you control archers?
I
Like,
can
there's
keep
no,
my little skeleton with the archers.
yeah, there's no rule against you have to be like with your unit in order to command them. Or anything.
No, it's assumed that the unit has its own like captain that
Okay.
is doing the fine control.
But I'll take the dwarves and the halflings. I think are the last ones. So
Since I got bows and we've had some time here, I probably have a full entourage of skeletons again.
Yeah, I can take the. I'll take the non-combatants as my.
I literally don't. Do we need to worry about the non-combatants as like units on the field?
So who's getting the halflings?
There will be units on the
Should
field,
Jock
yeah.
get the halflings?
So.
No, I got the halflings.
Okay.
Jog got the demis.
Either they be on the battlefield or not, they are still units, and roleplay wise, Aerith would worry about them.
You literally
Okay.
cannot. Oh no, you have. Wait, we have proficiency bonus 3, so you have the orcs and the non-combatants. You're good. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
I've
know what
got
I'm doing, Liv.
No, I keep on
Our-
thinking the marines are pirates. In
No,
my head,
Our
Aerith has
no.
2 units already.
No.
Are enough of the Rangers gonna show up for me to have unit of them as well?
No. No,
What are they
Rangers
doing?
are not.
They're scouting.
They're
the
scouting and
entire
stuff, yeah.
eastern border. We did.
There's many dangers in Noctum.
Hey, vibin.
It takes more than 2 days to gather that sort of
Yeah.
dispersal.
Just give him little
Okay.
motorcycles.
Hell,
So I'm trying to think about the rules for. I'm trying to look for the rules for deployment in the thing. If you just set them all out, or if you just set
I
up
remember
start
last
of
time we just
battle,
put them on the map.
each
I don't know.
officer's commanding units roll initiative. Each character and NPC acting as a commander deploys their units in reverse initiative order. Okay.
Yeah, so my troops will probably be back near the center.
Yeah. Okay. So the important thing is that deployment takes place after we roll initiative.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I will we'll do that next week.
Sounds good.
So questions about the combat. Just
Mhm.
one main one as I'm thinking about it. Do any of our character traits affect our units like they did in Westgate?
No.
Okay.
We will. This is like a tutorial battle. Once we get the full system, then each class has advantages they bring to units they command. So that will do
Yeah,
something, but it's not
mine will
like
be archers are buffed whenever I use them.
it's
That's my
not like
bonus.
how in Westgate we had like Goat was leading his forces and literally being stronger than than any of his units and just busting through walls or anything like that.
Or me being able to use my ability to dash a unit.
Yeah.
That was my main concern, is if I could like use dash and things like I could in the last one.
How were you able to use that? Was that a cleric
It's
thing?
one. No, I wasn't able to do it. One of the other people were.
Okay.
They were a rogue and they were dashing their unit.
Wait. So Nash, did you get a unit to command?
Elf.
The elves? Okay.
Even though I can't buff them, I'm gonna command them. Just get used to it, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't buff until later, right?
Yeah.
That's
No,
correct. Yeah.
no. But I'll probably end up having pretty much all the ranged units for the entire campaign, so I might as well get used to it.
Yep.
Okay.
You and me both.
And I'll be we'll need a
What's your
lot of
buff?
ranged units for that. Like
Yeah.
we can't all have ranged.
Everyone ranged units.
What's your
That's
buff
my
to
new
them?
decision. I don't remember. Do you think I
Okay.
remember?
Mine's just the damage buff.
I don't remember actually what my buff is at all. But
I'm looking. I think you do battle magic almost certainly.
oh yeah, it's mages, I believe. Mages,
Let's see.
clerics.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I take the archers.
So you
I think
get
mine revolves around like infantry and cavalry or something, along with the battle magic.
oh,
No,
so
yours
you
you can do anything. Yeah, cleric is all around.
yeah, cleric. Let's see. The first one is it looks like they can heal units,
Cool.
and you can rally broken units.
Yes.
And then units that have not light armor are better.
Well,
Better against undead or fiends, which could be useful. Oh, just a straight buff to power and toughness. And then healing just a whole bunch of units.
The all rounder.
Yep, that's clerics. I mean, it's cleric in 5e. Yeah, I
not
do.
much.
I suppose it's
I
important to have them that way since there's so many religions.
Yeah, I buff infantry units. Whenever an infantry unit controls succeeds on a power test as part of an attack, target must succeed on a DC 13 morale test or suffer an additional casualty. So, and then I can rally broken units better.
Yeah, a lot of them have. So you do need to be careful about these things because units can only be rallied once per battle. And so if they then break again, they're gone forever.
Oh,
So it's it's kind of one of those things where it's like if you think it's something that will turn the tide, then
Honestly, long-term goal, I'm probably going to be taking command of all like the undead levies.
mhm,
Because levies count as infantry, right?
yes,
Yeah, so I'm going to be taking control of the
yeah,
because all my stuff is like Infernal Rally. They can come back, they can rally, and they gain additional casualty die, gain an additional attack, and has additional movement, advantage on attack and power tests, but they gradually die. So,
Yeah.
and
So
like,
that would work best if you were doing like zombie levies or something like
Yeah.
that.
and I imagine that that's what I'm going to end up, just being the
Mhm.
frontline guy. Like, I mean, seriously, as one of my things at later levels is execution. As an action, a unit controlled by this commander chooses an allied unit with one casualty. That unit disbands, and one unit this commander controls that has advantage on attack and power tests until for the rest of the battle. So I can literally
Yeah.
execute a unit to set an example for the rest.
You said that this orc group is one of the orc group in the UDC POWs are levies, correct?
No, they are the
They
only
are
they-
ones
not
that are
levies.
not. Yeah.
You're the only ones that are not levies. How dare you emotionally invest me in these orcs? That's all I gotta say.
Well, levies are
You care
permanent.
about them now?
No,
Oh,
levies
Yeah,
are
well,
sorry,
not.
other way around.
levies
Levies are not.
disband after the battle. Those
Yeah.
guys aren't levies. They stay around.
Yeah, the orcs
Yeah.
are permanent.
So, well, still, how dare you? These are my babies now.
Well,
Aerith cares
Good
about
thing
their
Westgate's
well-being
full
for
of
the rest of
orcs.
time.
they're going into battle. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna invest in these elves. It needs some artisans. They got a lot of stuff to fix.
mhm.
I can't believe
Have
I
you
made all that lore for all those fucking places, and I didn't think of to do this place.
Well, now you have, and you did it on the
Alright.
spot.
Yeah.
Have you stopped the recording, Lev, by the way?